Oh my God, shut up. I wanted attention just like his old man. You silly goose. Here's how this is going to work. For the next week, me and Alinity are going to have a baby. If this baby doesn't get attention like that for 15 minutes, the baby dies. If the baby dies while it's with me, I owe Alinity 1,000 subs. If the baby dies while it's with her, she owes me 1,000 subs. Now, before my parents have a heart attack, no, I didn't actually get her pregnant. It is a very expensive baby that is something that people only can really get their hands on if they work in the medical field. This baby is very serious. It knows when it's being touched by humans. It knows exactly what it wants. If I'm talking too loud, the baby can cry. And if this he's happy. This is not a baby you can just reset. There's a master key for this baby, and we gave someone that we trust who will not give it to us the keys. His name is Wajito. This baby also has a feature to show that if it's being abused. This can mean somebody trying to mess with it.
You annoying ass kid. Shut up.
This can mean that the parent is just not handling correctly. Alinity is talking about her day with the baby, you know, anything that's labeled as abuse. The baby will get an alert, and if that happens, the other person loses the challenge. We will see who's gonna be able to keep this baby alive and if we're both able to be good parents. I'm warning you, this video is absolutely nuts, and I honestly was having a great time being a father. If you're new here, be sure to drop a sub. I'm really liking doing these intros, and if we get the most amount of subs we ever got from a video right now, I will make sure I wash my hands after I go to the bathroom next time. So yeah, thank you guys for watching, and enjoy this masterpiece. Bye. You look good with the mullet, fam. I actually fuck with it so hard. I like it so much, and I fell in love with my hairdresser. 9 months ago, Drake put out his album, and me and Alinity, we fell in love with the album. In that closet over there, actually. We went in the closet, some things happened, and 9 months later, Drake put out another album. And Alinity's pregnant, and she's gonna have my kid. I don't know if you guys saw the picture today. She's really getting that green card. Which then I posted, gone fishing. I don't know what to say about this. I feel like someone took a Photoshop picture and like warped it. Like I'm trying to look and see if this shelf back here is warped at all, but it's not. This is my wife, and we're gonna have a baby together this week. You're beautiful.
I need to sit on the nice chair.
Huh?
Because I'm pregnant.
What?
I need the nice chair.
What do you mean you already got a cushion?
It's not a cushion, it's real. It's a baby.
Let's go. Can I poke it?
You can touch it if you want. His leg is right around here. Actually, no, that's his arm. That's his shoulder. His head is right down here.
Oh, that's where my head was too. So chat, if you don't know, I met her on Instagram. Here's how it happened. She put a hole in my condom.
I did not do such a thing. Your dick is just so small, it slipped off.
I wonder what his first word's gonna be. If he takes after me, that's bad.
It's probably gonna be Twitch Prime.
That's 2 words. I'll be very proud of him if he could do that.
Okay, play Guitar Hero. I gotta go to the bathroom real quick. I'll be right back.
Good night! No, seriously, good night. I'm getting the fuck out of here. Is Rich over? I scream like that too when Rich comes over. Wait, she's in labor? What am I supposed to do as a parent? I have 5 more minutes, chat. Cut the cord? Dude, Dita will do that for me. I need some fucking help. Tell her to breathe. Yo, breathe! Alright, I did that. Listen, I think this is gonna be a great adventure for me. I really get to grow up. I saw one of my close friends, E-Rob, have to grow up. And by grow up, I mean he had to stream a couple more hours a week. I think it's gonna be a very good thing for me to really, like, you know, become a man. I think this whole thing I've been doing for 27 years is just getting a little old, you know? Like, playing Nintendo games. Oh, they suck. Buy some boxes. Just shut the fuck up, Ms. Kid. I think it's time for us to really, you know, take the next step in my life, chat. And you guys have been here for an amazing chapter, and I'm excited to share this new chapter with you. What did E-Rob do while he was waiting for his kid? Yeah, probably jerk off is what I would probably do. I mean, we could plug in his fan. Ooh, we could do some blackjack. I don't know what the fuck to do. What the fuck?
It's a girl, man.
Yeah, but what's that?
It's your child.
Isn't she beautiful?
Definitely the daughter of. It's definitely my kid. Chat, the 1% shines bright.
Wait, that's my baby. my baby. Can you not see the 10% British in that kid?
I'm sorry, Russell. Of course. It's your child. What was I thinking?
My baby.
Wait, where's my baby then?
All right, there may
you
have been a
mix the
mistake.
babies?
All right, there may have been a mix-up.
You
I'm
mix
so
the
sorry.
babies?
I gotta go check the nursery. One moment.
What the fuck?
Wait, so does this mean I'm off the hook? Can I leave now?
Great news! I found the correct child. It's a boy.
Yes! Yes!
That's
Yes!
your eyes.
Congratulations.
Yes!
You need to hold it too, so it'll bond with you.
Yeah, you gotta do skin to skin contact. You know what that means?
Yeah, I get it.
The baby's gonna touch your skin, so take your shirt off, and we're gonna take the baby's
No.
clothes off.
I hope you're talking to yourself.
This
No one
is
wants to see me.
literally a thing. Put your shirt up. Okay, and you're gonna make the baby touch you. You're gonna hold the baby like this. Okay?
Is this your job?
No. It is very important.
Okay, so I need to name the kid.
No, we both need to
Nah,
name the kid
Dr. Dave
together.
said that I get to name the kid.
I feel like we should let Chad name the kid.
Okay, they're gonna name it Tryhard, which is what I was gonna name the kid. How about Wajito?
Doesn't even force it.
Huh?
Force it.
Forson's an old person's name.
I have horrible news.
What
As
did
soon
you
as
do
I
to the
took it,
baby?
I took it out of the parents. I took it out of the room. And
Give it to
started
me.
crying.
Give it to the dad.
Oh.
Okay, give it to the mom.
Yeah.
You're hormonal. You don't know what you're doing. Give it to me. We gotta baptize the kid.
Wait. We should make it
I'll get
stop
the alpha
crying.
No,
Let's
we gotta
make it
baptize
stop
the kid.
crying.
We also need the moil.
I also need the keys. Is this what a normal child does?
This is completely normal. Kids do this all the time. They bond with their parents so fast. You take them out. Oh,
Okay,
and here we
so-
go. Perfect timing.
Now, I'm warning you, the kid is gonna be sponsored, okay? So I'm gonna baptize the kid with some game fuel. The power of Christ compels you. Just
That's
shut the
sugar
fuck
on
up,
it.
you stupid ass.
Shut up.
This is
You're
what my
stressing
parents used to
out.
do.
You're stressing out.
Shut the fuck up. Babies are just like Nintendo cartridges. Blow on it for it to work. Shut up. Just give it the blow. Come on. What the manja?
Stop screaming.
We need some Italian patience.
You gotta shut up. Stop
Both
screaming.
of you get your volume
You're
off. Come on.
stressing the baby
You got
up.
to pump it up. You got to pump it up. I'm whipping out the hard stuff.
Miss, he does not give a shit about your boxes.
Yeah, but they do. Chat, look at this.
Miss.
Let me show you the kid the box first.
Okay, do you care about... He doesn't give a shit about that.
Dave, this isn't my kid. Dave, this is not my kid. His name is Ragu. he's imported.
He wants to be
He's a little
fed.
chunky,
No,
chat.
but he wants some ragu. That's what his problem is.
Alright, here's how we're gonna do this. I'm out of baby. Let's fucking go! Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the arena. Tonight I'm having a shower with a lady. Dude!
You're hurting him. You're hurting the baby.
Let's go!
What do you need?
Do not. No, put the child. Okay.
Stop being an
no,
idiot.
no.
Stop being an idiot.
with this break.
Doctor's orders. I need to take that child from you just for a
No,
moment.
Yes.
this is my baby.
Yes.
Just
Yes.
for a
This
moment.
is my baby.
Yeah.
No, you can't take it from me. You can't take
She
it
was
from
like,
me.
Dave, okay,
It's
she's
mine.
done this before with a cat. She's about to do it with a human.
It's my
Okay,
baby.
she's fucking the dopamine rush of the shit. Dave, stop the woman. Maybe this will help. Shut off.
All right, that works.
It's dead.
No, he didn't die. He's just taking a little nap.
Does the baby?
Okay.
Wait, baby needs a shot, doesn't he?
How is he using vodka?
Well, he needs shots, right?
That means vodka. That's what I do with the
You know what? We'll name him through Marvel. I feel like that's the way we can name him. Let's see if Chad has a good name for the kid.
I think he died. I think we died.
You really think we killed the kid?
We started, we did. Kill the baby and listen. He has to be dead.
Chad, we were trying to be parents for a week and we could be
He's
parents for
totally
3 minutes.
dead.
You think we killed the kid?
Yeah.
Let me see. When you shake him like that, when he broke.
But he's dead.
You know what Mitch Jones taught me how to raise a kid?
How? No! Oh, crap!
Hey!
He's alive! Yay!
Thank you, Mitch. XQCL. You stupid
No,
fucking
I'm not
dumb
calling
bitch.
you
I'm not naming my kid after a gambling addict. Dan. Are you stupid? I'm not naming my kid after Dan Bazarian, the biggest scumbag in the Twitch streaming industry. Why don't we take a BuzzFeed article?
Okay.
What would your dream baby look like?
Baby, very extreme. That is so wrong.
What would you, yeah, I want an exotic baby. What would you like your baby shower to be like? I want everyone to go all out. I want.
Holy shit, that's so bad.
Are you scared or nervous about tomorrow? Yes. Madison, Sophia,
Yeah, Gabriel or Saya.
Andy it is. Jack, can we name our kid Andy?
Andy's a good name. Come
He's
on.
basic, he's white, he's boring, he's annoying.
Just like the father.
Just like the father. Not me, probably.
I have some bad news.
What?
If he cries for longer than 15 minutes without getting any attention, he will die. So, he will wake up in the middle of the night, randomly, and cry. And whoever has the baby has to take care of it.
Yeah, that's the same as me.
Press it down.
I got this, Take care
Press it down.
Go and take care of the kid.
We can call your mom. No? We can call my mom.
This has to be a joke, right?
She's gonna be so weirded out.
Tell her the truth. I mean, she'll probably be proud of you. She went, damn, it's what you've been wanting for like 6 years of Christmas. We're FaceTiming your...
Mommy!
Hi, Mom!
Hola!
Hi, Mom! Hi, Mom! It's nice to finally meet you. It's been 9 months. I'm so excited. We've been watching a lot of Dora lately. We're really excited to have the kid.
Quiero, mamita. Un besito.
Bye, Mom. See you at the wedding. Sorry. I'm really sorry. It's better than Rich, though, right? You want me to call my mom?
doesn't give a shit. What? Your mom is terrifying. Hi.
Mom, I'm on stream. Mom, I have some news to tell you.
Uh-oh. Now what?
9 months ago, Drake dropped an album and it sucked. 9 months later, he dropped another album and it
Matt and I
sucked.
just had a baby. His name is Andy.
Oh yeah, and I had a kid.
Oh, now you tell me?
Yeah, I didn't want to tell you because I wanted to call you on stream and just let you know in front of everybody.
Oh, that's a nice way of finding out.
Because I thought that's just the most, like, you know, manly way to do it. It's in front of 30,000 people.
Yeah, that's the way to do it. Let me know on stream as opposed to, letting me know when it happened.
Yeah, we thought she was bloated, but it turns out it was something else.
Oh, okay.
You're a grandmother.
Yeah, that's right. Oh my God.
Yeah, I know.
Don't say that.
Sorry. All right, well, wait, put Dad on the line. Let him know I'm streaming.
Hi.
Dad, I got a hole-in-one. I knocked a girl up. I'm on stream.
You what?
I knocked a girl up. I'm on stream right now. We had a kid.
That's congratulations.
You're a grandfather.
Okay, that's nice. Is it a boy, girl, he, she, or it?
I'll check its Twitter later, but I'm just glad I had the baby. That was funny. Here's what we're gonna do. Who wants to keep the kid when? So let me write my hours down. Okay, so we have a 4-hour window that we don't have.
So who's gonna take care
Who's
of the
gonna
baby?
take care of the baby from 5 in the morning until 9 o'clock in the morning? Who's awake at 5 in the
Hey,
morning?
but I have yoga at 9.
Oh shit, you do? Can you take the baby to yoga?
Bro, I'm gonna be in like a down dog and the fucking baby's gonna start crying.
I have some options. I'm gonna call some babysitters around the area.
What's up, bitch?
Finn, I'm on stream. We need to talk.
Alright, break it down.
Well, me and Alinity had a kid, and he is named Andy. And we need someone who's a 5 a.m. to 9 a.m. Andy to watch over the kid or he can die.
Break down the basics. Like, what are the consequences if young Andy passes away?
You have to get to 1,000 subs.
This sounds like miserable to take care of.
Chat, here's the thing. We have to find a babysitter for these 4 hours or the baby dies. And I'm not waking up at 5 in the morning or 6 in the morning for this kid. You want Mitch to have my kid. Now,
No.
He's my last resort.
We're not doing that. What about Tectone?
you want to call Tectone and see if he's willing to take my kid?
Yeah.
You know, Tectone seems responsible. All right, I'm calling Tectone. All right, Tectone, I have a serious question to ask you.
Okay. What's up?
You said you'd do anything for me,
Are
right?
you awake
Oh, yeah, of course.
between 5 a.m. and 9 a.m. Tectone usually? You or your girlfriend?
But which girlfriend?
Not the VR one. Your wife, free.
Oh,
what about,
shit.
what's up? What about for him?
Tectone, listen, you owe me some serious cash, right?
I sent you another payment today.
That's my bad.
Oh, thank you, man. Okay, so here's the thing, Tectone, what we're asking for you. Alinity and I had a kid, and this kid requires attention constantly, and he's annoying as hell. He takes after me.
Uh-huh.
How would you like to be the godfather?
I would love that so much. Yes, 1,000 times yes.
Okay, So this godfather needs to take care of the baby at 5 a.m. to 9 a.m.
Wait, you picked me over One Tap?
Why did you know One Tap wanted the kid?
I just feel like that's something that he would do, man. I don't know. It's kind of like a One Tap job.
What the fuck? Are they gonna go out together and hang out? Like, what the hell? I'm not gonna have One Tap take care of a kid. What the hell's the point of that?
Okay, well, I mean, yeah, I'm down. I'm down.
Okay, now, Tectone, this is a serious baby. If you turn him the wrong way, he will cry. If you don't feed him or give him attention when he needs it, he will die.
And if he dies,
Take care of him.
And if he dies, you will get forwarded for the rest of your life if you kill this kid. His name's Andy.
All right, for you, man, I'll do it. I'm down. Wait, how long is the gig? How long?
1 week, 1 week.
1 week.
We can't kill the kid. We have to take care of a kid together as a family.
For you, I'll do it.
We're gonna pay you $20 an hour for babysitting.
Wow.
That's typical wage in Texas.
That's really good. Okay. Alright. Sure, man. $20. Let's go.
Why is your face getting red?
Oh, nothing, man. That's a really good deal, Miz.
Bro, shut the fuck up. You were making like $20 a day with your subathon because you constantly kept spinning the wheel for free.
Yeah, true.
All right, I'm trying to help you out.
Yeah, you're just a very caring, kind.
Are you gonna
man.
kill my kid?
I would never. I would never. Wait, no, this isn't like a real kid, right? Like, this is like a Tamagotchi, right? Surely this is a Tamagotchi.
This thing's as real as it gets, Texan. It's $500.
By the way, what the fuck is up with your haircut, dog? You look like the dude from Eastbound and Down.
Let's see
You're
your
like 8
haircut.
hours. No, I'm good. No, okay, no, fair point. Never mind.
All right, Tectone, if you're able to keep this kid alive for a week, if you help us out here, I'll get Asmund to host you once.
Right, so,
Yes, and
that's easy.
yes, I'll get Asmund to host you.
Can we play Smite too?
I knew you were gonna negotiate that.
Oh, I just want to play Smite, dude. Why is that weird? Why are you making it weird?
I'll talk to Dr. Dave. We could probably play some Smite tonight.
Hell yeah, dude.
Okay, dude, Tectone, you're a hero.
Yeah, let's go.
Okay, so tomorrow and just tomorrow, I have something really important to do. So can I drop the baby at like noon? I will take him from 9 a.m. to noon just for tomorrow, and then I will have him for 3 extra hours the next day.
What if you leave him at Nick's tomorrow? When Nick's streaming, I want you to walk in there and drop off the baby and leave. And that's it. And just see if what Nick does. I don't think Nick will kill the baby. I don't think he would do that. You think Soda's gonna wake up early to kill my kid? Jack, come on. I'm going to say something right now. I'm not giving this child to S-Fan. I'm not doing it. Don't ask. S-Fan will fuck
She's
with this
going
kid.
to-
You know damn well S-Fan's gonna bring this thing on a green screen and use it as a football.
Hey!
Yo. Wait, no, you can't do that! Please! Bro, you just can't. It's not funny. It is not funny.
Oh my god! He just beats me.
It's your baby!
So funny. He's
It's
gonna
your
love that when he's
child,
older.
it's not funny.
Ah, he's gonna love that when he's older. That's so funny. Oh god. Alright, so you realize we have some people that really want us to lose.
Yeah.
There's some people out there, Lenny,
Okay,
that
so Slick can't be trusted.
Slick
We
cannot
know
be
that
trusted.
now.
Yeah, Slick's not been able to trust him since the beginning.
He's
Chad, he just made a happy noise. He's making happy noises.
Oh, he's so happy. He wants to spend time with Daddy.
No, he's happy. He's not spending time with Daddy. Oh wait, maybe he heard me. You had to say spending time with Daddy, huh? So, how about we change the diaper? Okay, so you've seen your diaper changed again. Damn, you have worse poop problems than Nick
A
Pollum.
lot.
This baby shits a shit ton. What the hell? So wait, okay,
We're gonna do great. We're gonna be really good parents.
who's got to pay for shit?
We split it half and half. What are we buying?
I'm the man of the house.
So you pay for it. Great. Bye.
What the fuck do I do with this kid now?
Uh-oh, Andy's pissed. What do?
I gotta finish the song. I gotta finish.
What do I do?
Let me finish the song. Let me finish the song.
I want to help him, but I don't know what to do.
Also, I'll take care of him. He was crying because I stopped playing. It's the power of music will help him. Ready? In 15 minutes, he dies. Holy shit. My R8, my McLaren, my Audi. That's an R8. I'm gonna try diaper change. Gotta bounce him around a little bit. We have 13 minutes until he dies.
Oh my goodness, dude. Stop him from crying. I don't know how to take care of a kid.
Oh, maybe I have to feed him. I haven't fed him in a while. What do you need to burp for? I didn't fed you.
Shut the fuck up.
It's okay. Don't listen to Uncle Russell. He's just a racist.
Shut the fuck up.
Dude, this is what my dad would do when I was crying. I don't, like, what?
Chat was right. Bomb defused.
Wait, I thought it was...
No, you telling him to shut the fuck up didn't help. It was feeding, chat. We had to feed it.
Oh, okay, cool.
Thank you, Sandy. I fucking did like 90%. It's okay, Andy. It's okay. Look, how about some sushi, huh? How about some attention? Huh? Chat, make a funny face. Oh, okay. You want your diaper changed? You just ate. He just ate. Okay, he just ate. Burp? Alright, I'll burp you. Damn, chat, you're a better father, you're a better parent than me.
I imagine you have these grandiose ideas and this
Yeah.
this concept that you have,
Yeah.
and there's a guy there that is like, I am here to scale you back down.
So you're pushing the envelope a little bit, aren't you? Like,
It's like, I want to record on the moon.
Apparently a dying black hole, or like a black hole, is like the loudest sound ever. The moon would be nice, but I don't think I'm gonna...
Lads, welcome back to another episode of the Trash Taste Podcast. I'm lad number 1, and I'm with lad number 2 and 3 as always. And I've got a lad sitting next to me. Who are you?
Just a lad, right?
I'm just some fucking guy. Just some dude.
We just found an Australian guy.
Yeah. I was like, I thought I was the only one.
No, not today, not today.
So after many months, many moons, we finally have the one and only Mr. Kevin Penkin on the show.
How's it?
Hell yeah.
Aside from being just an Aussie lad, what else are you known for?
Yeah.
Not much, mate. No, okay, so I guess like on a good day, I write music for anime and games. Some of those
On a good day.
On a good day. On a bad day, I'm just some fucking guy on a couch drinking a beer and watching YouTube. But hey, actually, yeah, it's not a bad day, actually.
Yeah.
But on a professional day, I am writing music for anime and video games, as I said. Some of those being Made in Abyss, and Tower of God, and Rising of the Shield Hero, and also did Star Wars Visions, one of the episodes for Star Wars Visions, which
Hell yeah.
not the worst thing to happen to, I guess, me. I don't know. I don't know.
Are you
Compose-
being modest? You know?
Composers for Star Wars, not the worst thing to happen.
Not the worst, yeah.
Not the worst.
That'll be on my tombstone. Not the worst.
I think the thing that is like always like, 'cause I've never asked you this. I'm just like, how the hell did this happen?
Yeah.
Like, how do you
Yeah.
Because it seems like Japanese anime would want to get Japanese composers. So, like, how did this all come around?
And I guess they have for the longest time, right?
So what's your, like, background with
No,
music
sure.
and life?
I mean,
how did you end up here?
Well, it's a very super random like kind of series of events that like I don't really understand how it happened. Happy it did, but I have no idea actually how it happened. But I guess like the chronological events is that I actually started working probably in the end of my teens. I started working with the Final Fantasy composer Nobuo Uematsu.
Nobuo Uematsu. Wow.
Yeah, which is awesome. I mean,
Wait, how did that happen?
Okay, sorry. Let's go back.
Like, no one just like works with Nobuo Uematsu. You know?
Let's
try
go
again.
to conception.
Yeah.
Where was you?
Your local neighborhood friend, Nobuo Uematsu, you know?
I just saw a guy at the bar once, and I just ended up composing with the composer of Final Fantasy. What?
I thought you said conception. I was like, well.
Yeah.
So yeah, I had always like wanted to do like video game music. I remember because I my first game console was a GameCube, and I played this game called Metroid Prime, which is still my favorite game of all
Amazing
time.
game.
Right.
Yeah, it is one of my favorites. And when I played that game, I was like, I want to do that. And so that's basically what happened. I was like, oh, I want to do that one.
Yeah.
Right.
And so I kind of just like started, pretending to write video game music. And Australia also had a bunch of like video game concerts that happened, including the Final Fantasy concerts.
Yeah.
But in a slightly different. Did you just burp?
No.
I thought I had this click thing. I was like,
It's a clicking thing.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'll shut the fuck up.
Did you interrupt my story?
How fucking dead.
I fucked
Make
up
a
the story
noise.
a little bit. So I fucked up my memory. So yeah, Australia had all these kind of concerts going on. I met a conductor called Arnie Roth, who did some concerts called Play. And so I went over from Perth, Western Australia, from where I'm from. Went over to Sydney to do this, to kind of view this this concert, and he invited me to come say hello to him and also one of the composers there, who's the Silent Hill composer, Kira Yamaoka. So I met him.
Right.
That was really cool, and he was like super kind of. He was very, very generous with his time for like some eager, piece of shit 15-year-old.
Yeah,
So I
right,
really
right,
appreciate
right,
that even
right.
to this day. But because I met Ani, when I saw that Uematsu-san was going to come to a concert in Seattle,
Yeah.
other places, I was like, hey, so we might come over, like me and my dad might come over and come say hi.
Right.
Yeah.
And they were like, oh, well, thank you for coming such a long way from Perth, which is like 36 hours in a plane.
Right.
Don't recommend that, by the way.
Yeah.
But yeah, we spent like 36 hours going to Seattle, met Arnie, and then he was like, oh, just come to the dress rehearsal and come say hi as well to Uematsu and stuff. And
Wow.
So
Wait,
yeah,
So you're just going to these concerts and you just
we went
say
to that
hi?
one, yeah. It
Right.
You just say hi.
well, because we met at that previous one in Sydney,
Oh,
we were able to
okay,
like, kind of
okay.
come over and stuff. So,
Right.
yeah, it was very, very lucky.
Yeah, you make it sound very easy. Like,
Yeah.
So you met him initially and you just bumped into him initially? Or you like...
No. So like we had been invited to come say hi at this concert in Sydney, which then led to this concert in Seattle, where Uematsu-san was, where we met for the first time.
Right.
And Australia, all the all the school years are flipped because it's summer when it's
Right,
winter.
okay.
So
Because it's Australia.
Yeah,
Because Australia, everything's reversed. Yeah.
Of course, you got to flip it like,
So
like
our
physically.
summer holiday is December.
Yeah.
And so that's when we have like the classic school like 2-3 month kind of break. Sort of
Right,
December,
right,
January,
right,
July.
It's basically like all of December and January is just off.
Yeah.
for school.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
But that was obviously like New Year's and stuff and Christmas in Japan. So
Yeah.
for summer holiday we would go to winter in Japan.
Right.
End up they very graciously say hello. Yeah, you can come say hi and stuff. And
Yeah.
eventually that just led to a couple of it's like small. It's not the Final Fantasy game. I should be very clear about
Right,
that.
right,
But
right.
But you made some pretty insane connections from that. I bet.
Yeah, it's still pretty crazy to talk about, but it's
Yeah, you
like,
make it sound so easy. Like,
Yeah.
you know,
You just like had them on speed dial after
Yeah,
that?
not quite, no,
I just went to a concert and then just went to another concert and then just things happen and then here I am.
Honestly, at the end of the day, I'm just happy it happened. I mean, I know I've been using that word a little bit today,
Yeah.
but it's like, I'm just super things have just panned out not so shit over the
Right.
I'm trying to piece the whole thing in my head together. Like
Yeah.
Me too.
how it all how it all comes together.
Yeah.
So you met him again at another concert. And how did that translate into them working for them? Because surely that's a massive leap.
Well, we had, because of these Japanese trips that I would do over Australian summer, Japanese winter, basically
Right.
what happened is we were able to just kind of keep a connection, and then eventually, like I kept on submitting some CDs and stuff like that.
wow.
I was that guy, so
Right.
but which in this case it worked out. But you know, it's like you never think about it that way. You just hope your best to just you just want to be involved in some way.
Yeah,
yeah,
It's-
yeah.
It feels nice.
So you just like kept submitting your work and like, and they're like,
Well,
okay,
so,
okay.
I mean, more like God bless them. They actually, listen to it.
Yeah,
which
yeah,
they
yeah,
had no
yeah,
obligation
right.
to do. I would not hold it against them to not do it, but they
Yeah,
so graciously kind of did, and
Yeah.
eventually, I'm happy to say that I was able to be useful to them. So that's
So you were like making music from like as early as like how old? Like
oh shit.
I assume very, very young, right? Like were you like
Yeah.
classically trained and stuff? Or?
Yeah. So I played flute. I came from flute.
To see you playing flute was just such a funny image to me.
I can do the Anchorman solo.
Oh really?
Yeah, I can do it. I'm so like that's like,
Why didn't you bring your flute?
Sorry, I left it in Melbourne. No, it's, I actually like picked it up a little bit last year, like during the pandemic. So I was like, oh,
Right.
I'm fucking bored now. So
Yeah.
try it again, and ended up using it a bit on the new Shield Hero and stuff. So I did some,
Right.
some,
Right,
jazz,
right.
some jazz flute.
Oh,
Wow.
Snuck
Yeah,
that
that's
in.
good
You
fun,
snuck that in.
Hell yeah.
A cheeky jazz flute. A little cheeky jazz flute.
So you started with flute from like really young, and then you
so
kind of just went on
flute
from there.
playing- Yeah, flute playing, played Metro Prime, wanted to write music.
Alright.
Just like played on, I'm not sure if you know Finale.
Yeah,
Did Finale for a little while and like didn't understand what like working with actual like DAWs and stuff, which are
Digital audio
workstations.
workstations, yeah.
So Logic Pro and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And Logic Pro is eventually what I moved to, and I still use it today.
Mm-hmm.
And
Scariest thing I've
yeah,
Yeah. It's very overwhelming when you look at it. Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
like, what the fuck?
I know nothing about audio. I'm that guy today. I'm like the Connor of this episode. I'm like, yeah, that's letters that you're saying right now.
Something I know more for once.
For once, yeah.
well, I hate to say it, but Connor was kind of right with the whole Beeps and Boots thing. A little bit.
Oh, we're getting into that already?
What?
Yo.
What?
Yeah.
No. No.
I hate to say it, but I like the noise is the most accurate way to describe how I feel about music as well.
You're a literal musician. You do this for a living.
Oh my god. My life has been a lie.
Dude, like I remember when Connor first brought up the whole like beeps and boop shit. I was like, don't worry. Eventually, when we get Kevin, he'll be on my side.
Yeah.
Well, I won't lie. I like opened a bottle of gin and just started drinking after that phase. I was just like, what the fuck are you guys talking about? At the same time, I was like, to be honest, like, yeah, maybe we'll go into like a little bit more detail about why the noise is nice, but the
noise is nice.
Yeah, I mean,
That's
yeah,
it. That's
yeah.
it. It's just like I like the things my ears feel. You know?
Yeah.
I like hearing the noise. You know? It's just a soothing.
But we should explore why.
What?
Why?
Why though?
That's a level that he's never crossed before.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like it's the most primitive way of experiencing music, like the way that it was just meant. Like,
Is there any other way to
noise
experience
equals
music?
soothing. Well, because everyone wants to add this super kind of like deep art meaning, and I'm like, noise is nice. You know, like it's just kind of like I don't listen to a piece of music and feel any emotion.
Yeah.
I just take it in, and I'm like, this.
No, I mean we all do, but
Yeah,
we
yeah,
also it's that plus alpha for us, you know. Like it's not just the alpha, right? Like
Yeah, best way maybe to describe it is like, okay, so noise is nice, but the noise is nice because like certain things that are working together
Right.
make
Yeah.
said nice noise.
Yeah.
This is why I brought you on today to explain this concept.
In the most monkey way possible.
In a not
Yeah.
stupid way, like I would explain.
Yeah, well, I mean, because like it's just made up of like random kind of what's the word? I guess sort of categories. So there's like you got melody, you got harmony, you got rhythm and stuff like that. You got
Yeah.
texture. Texture is really important. So texture is like in my
What is texture?
texture is the sound quality, the quality of a sound.
That's like
you're sounding like an alien right now. I was like, what is this texture you humans speak of?
No, I don't normally talk to musicians, and normally when I hear someone talk about texture, it's with like food or like with things that you feel
like
with your
touch.
Same
hands or
concept,
touch.
like
Yeah, the same thing, yeah.
It's the exact same concept. It's like okay, okay, you know the I think it's Billie Jean. You know the
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
okay
The drums,
so
yeah.
the drum sound is super distinctive.
Yes.
because anyone can play that beat and anyone can play that like a drum like that.
Right.
But why does it sound? Why do you know that it's that fucking song straight away? because the sound of the drum. Textural quality
Beeps.
is
The boops?
specific and
Yeah.
unique. So
Right.
that's the whole idea of texture. It's like texture, I think, is criminally, well, not criminally, and I can't pronounce that fucking word right now, but
Primitively.
yeah, primitively underrated. No, texture is like, I guess I would call it like kind of the secret ingredient. Even though it's not that secret, and you know,
It's the spice that you add to make it all come together.
it is all
Right,
the souls
yeah.
of
right,
pepper.
right.
There's many spices.
Yeah.
Many,
So
many spices.
I see like we've inadvertently like separated the musicians on one side and like the apes on the other side.
It's got like a glass panel here. I think Chris will kind of say, don't fucking come near it.
Yeah. So,
That's how
okay.
you feel like we talk about anime.
Yeah.
I get it. I get it.
Okay. So you started, doing, writing music from a young age. You met Nobuo Uematsu. So like, how did you then go from like that to, oh, now I'm writing music for Made in Abyss?
That's
Because like, I feel again, that's like not like one step process.
Yeah.
You know?
there were a couple of steps.
So okay. Number one, how did you learn Japanese? Because I assume you would need to learn Japanese to work in the
So
anime.
yeah,
Right,
I mean, obviously, I'm not this beautiful boy when it comes to that, but I feel like I do fine.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
I feel like I do well, and so yeah, I learned Japanese in Australia. There's this thing called TAFE, which is sort of a
Like community college
yeah,
kind of thing.
it's like community college, like sort of a non. Like,
Not
it's
university.
like you could treat it as like a pre-college almost at some time.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
could
yeah,
do like
yeah.
certificate level stuff. So it's
Okay,
not, so like
okay.
bachelor certificate,
Right.
sort of underneath that.
Yeah.
So I did that because I went to school at the West Australian Academy of Performing Arts, WAPA, as it's called.
Yeah.
Whopper.
So I went to WAPA for 3 years doing composition there.
Yeah.
That was in Perth. But then at nighttime, so I'm trying to imagine me doing this now, like going to school during the day and like go to school during the night. And I was like, I do not have that energy. I do not have that energy at all anymore.
Congrats on being 30, by the way. Welcome to the club, Kevin. Welcome to the club.
I am lit tired. I can't even use the jet lag excuse anymore. But oh well. No, so I went to this TAFE school on like a Thursday and a wow, let's try that again. Tuesday and a Thursday.
Yeah.
Tuesday and Thursday, and on the middle day, the Wednesday, I would go with all the classmates that I was learning with, and we would go to this seedy fucking bar in Northbridge, which is like kind of like the I don't even know how to describe it. It's the
seedy part of Perth.
it is the like club crazy like CD blues sniffy sort of part of Perth.
Right.
Yeah.
I've heard a lot of things about Perth from every Australian I've met, and one pattern that I've seen from every Australian I met from Perth is that they no longer live in Perth anymore.
I know 4 people, including you, who were born and raised in Perth, who are no longer in Perth.
So like I would say that if you've grown up there, there is like a certain like I want to call.
Shout out to our fans in Perth.
Look, there is a certain like jovial sort of jokey aspect to like saying, "Oh yeah, I'm from Perth, fucking what?"
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
Yeah.
But like once you leave, I think there is like a little bit of homesickness. Like I haven't been.
Oh, of course,
I
yeah.
fucking miss it. So, I might be there for 2.5 weeks and be like, "Yeah, I'm cool.
You've had your film.
Bye, Felicia." But
Right.
until then, I'm pretty homesick.
Right.
But like, yeah, So we went to this bar in Northbridge because Perth is super, super popular with working holiday Japanese people.
Oh, really?
Super popular.
Oh, I did not know
Yeah,
that.
Japanese people love coming to Perth, and that's great. And it is. For what it's worth, even though I just like kind of described like a suburb of Perth.
I'm just like,
fucking.
I'm trying to wrap my head around what the reason that might be.
Joey, like I've never seen that facial expression in Joey where he tried to understand either his Japanese side or his Australian side, and he's just like, there is something that's gone wrong in my culture.
Both my Australian and Japanese side were like, that sounds like a lie.
As far as I can remember, it's not. But
Right. I wonder why though.
I honestly, sun.
Oh,
Sun and beaches.
yeah.
Sun and beaches.
Right.
Yeah.
Fair.
And wine. Lots of wine.
Fair.
That's
Yeah.
why they don't come to the UK, huh?
No.
I don't really hear about Japanese people in London. that often.
No.
Not really.
Of course, like it's also very far away, but I guess so is Australia now that I think
Yeah,
about
Perth's
it.
pretty fucking far away.
Yeah, I mean, like
nothing.
Yeah, that's true.
So there
that's
is like
true.
a connection between Australia and Japan. There's there's quite a lot of sister cities and stuff.
Right,
and
right,
obviously it's
right.
like sort of the Australasia region. Sorry,
Yeah,
sorry
yeah.
if that's triggering for y'all.
Yeah.
but no, the Australasia region is obviously I think there's a lot of pre-COVID of course there was a lot of like kind of travel treaties and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Working holiday visas were rampant.
Yeah.
For lack of a better word.
Definitely.
Yeah.
But we would go to this bar and all the working holiday people, because it was a shitty bar, but on a Wednesday night it would be international night.
Right.
$10 jugs, and which is like I think like
Bloody hell.
£7, like 8.5 American dollars.
Yeah.
Right.
And you just get fucking wasted with awesome like working holiday Japanese people, and because obviously when you're a bit toasted, your language confidence,
Yeah,
especially
right,
languages
of
you
course.
can't speak,
Of course.
somehow it just raises up. And
Yeah.
you're like,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
let's fucking konnichiwa. Yeah, okay, let's go.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so you would almost have like the 2 formal training days on each side, and then
Yeah.
you'd have like
The real training day.
the toasted
Yeah.
night,
Yeah.
and your brain would just like sponge it up.
Yeah.
That's how it started, and then actually like since COVID, we've been doing a lot more like kind of business meetings and stuff on Zoom and stuff. And so like my Keigo has like gone way through the roof now, because that's almost like how I almost exclusively speak like sort of with that I almost treat it as like a buffer. It almost feels like a buffer. It's like if you're not not sure how to speak to someone, using the Keigo almost feels like I'm just like
Being safe.
yes,
Yeah.
safety net.
Right.
You don't know where your like relationship is.
Yeah.
You're just
Yeah,
like, I'll just
yeah,
be
yeah.
polite.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's like I'm just gonna avoid any like faux pas by
Yeah.
being overly polite.
Right.
I did notice that actually, because like a couple of months ago that we did the Made in Abyss event.
Yeah.
Like, cause so I co-hosted like a Made in Abyss event for Made in Abyss 2, and obviously Kevin wasn't there like in person, but he was on like a Zoom call, because
Yeah.
there was like a segment where we were talking about the music for the show, and obviously because it's a Japanese event, so it's live streamed to a Japanese audience.
Yeah.
Kevin had to speak Japanese for the entire part.
Yeah.
And I hadn't heard Kevin speak Japanese in a while, so I was like, hopefully, he'll get through it.
Yeah.
And I was like, damn, he's Keigoing the fuck up. Like, I was like, he's like way too polite in this entire thing. He's like talking to the fucking prime minister levels. I'm like, he's just talking about like the music.
It's like the problem is because I've almost like lost the middle ground now. So it's like way too casual, or it's way too formal.
Right.
And I was like, just in because it's like something. Instead of saying like yes or something, I'll be just like yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, that's just like you in a nutshell, right? Because like one thing you'll realize meeting Kevin is like he's like the most humble and nice person like you've ever met, but then that is until like he starts getting like a few pints in him, and like you can always track how drunk Kevin is by how much more Australian he is. So at the beginning of the night, you're like you might not even know that he's Australian or something like, 'cause he's like way too polite.
Kevin is either extremely professional or extremely unprofessional. there's no middle.
That doesn't sound like I don't know what you're talking about. Give me a lighter. Yeah. That's flip.
Because I remember, because you were saying, I definitely experienced that this weekend, right? Because, obviously, during the convention, we'd go out and have a couple of drinks and all that kind of stuff, right? And it's like, that Friday night where we're out, drinking, and we got that Burger King at 2 in the morning.
Yeah.
Man, bringing that up, you want that to be committed to YouTube, bro?
Yeah, because Garth was saying Kevin is drunk because he just gets exponentially Australian, right? And I think that Burger King night was the most Aussie I've ever heard Kevin.
I was so bitter about that burger. It fucking sucked. It was so shit.
That's Burger King.
Yeah, I know, but there was first it was fucking 2:30 in the morning. There's only so many old fashions I can have.
I know. I'm not expecting you to make great decisions here. I'm just saying.
So to explain, it's like 2:30 in the morning. Obviously, everyone's drunk, and everyone's starting to get the little bit hungry, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So there's a Burger King there. And Kevin comes out with a bag full of what he thinks is just a light snack, right? What he pulls out of the bag is like the fattest double Whopper that I've ever seen in my life. And he pulls it out of the bag and he's like, in the most Australian way, he's like, what the fuck is this? And he's like, oh, fuck it, I've already bought it, it's whatever.
So just like, this just like goes back to like that fucking izakaya thing where I ordered too much. Can I just fucking hit buttons? Just hit the button.
Oh my god!
When you get a few drinks, you're like, this is an amazing idea.
Yeah,
I can handle all that.
So to explain that,
So much ambition.
last time we went out to Japan, we went to an izakaya, and then Kevin was like pretty hungry. You know, we started drinking before, but Kevin was like,
this fucking time.
yeah, we were hungry, but we also like just a little bit tipsy. And Kevin thinks, you know what's a good idea? If I order one of everything on the menu.
It's like a 4-page menu. It's 4 pages of menu for just the chicken. And then it was like 4 pages of menu for like the pork.
It was like an onslaught. It did not stop.
Yeah, I've never had to like because it's a fucking all you can eat. Like you can just do it, but like, at the same time, I was like, yeah, we had to, like I was like I had to talk to the fucking staff member. We're like, can you stop?
Can you stop?
Any food that you have not physically cooked yet, stop it.
Because it was like there was like 15 different livers, and I'm like, how do you even find this many livers? Like, I'm done.
You know, there's salt, there's shield.
So like we learned that day if we go to an izakaya and there's a tablet there, we can order never give it to Kevin because he's just like, oh, what does everyone want? And everyone's just like, oh, just whatever. And Kevin takes that too literally as everything.
But like, because I think it's just because like I haven't been back home to Australia in a while, right? And they're like, I have a couple of mates in Australia who are like very, very ochre, but like, Kevin is like next level Australian, especially when he's drunk. So he was like, so like, going back, it's like he like unwraps the double Whopper, right? Because he's like, he's already has it in his hand. He takes like 3 bites out of it, and he just goes, "This is shit. This is so shit."
I think I remember that.
What was shit about it? Do you remember?
It was so dry. It was like so dry.
It was so dry and it was so heavy.
Yeah, it was like, I fucked up, okay? Like, I fucked because like in Australia we don't have Burger King, we have Hungry Jack's.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's like, if Burger King was like better.
It's good.
It's fucking like Hungry Jack's is like, I would argue way better than Burger King.
Yeah, but not by much. I'd say.
Not by much, to be fair.
Sorry.
No.
I don't know if I'm crazy, but I swear Burger King, don't they like drench it in like sauce?
I wish.
It's so fucking dry.
That would
Right.
be
Like
good.
the burger is like the most like skeleton-esque burger ever.
Yeah.
It's like
Extremely anemic.
Yeah.
I had the
snap the patty in half.
Yeah, I had the chicken like there was like a long chicken burger type of thing, and it was like freeze dried. It was so fucking dry. I was like,
McDonald's is really good fried chicken.
Yeah. It was a bad tactical error that will hopefully not make again.
Yeah.
but it's just so hilarious. Just Kevin raging at a double
Yeah, I
Whopper
got pretty-
at 2:30 in the morning.
I remember I've got a good friend back home. And I remember because I took him to this like really like I there's this Ankara bakery thing on it's called Beaufort Street in Mount Lawley.
What?
Yeah, there's a place. There's an Ankara bakery on Beaufort Street in Mount Lawley in Perth. What did I say?
It's in Beaufort Street.
Bofa.
I'm sorry. I'm a child.
All of our eyes just like gleam. Like Bofa.
I'm gonna blame the dry London air for that one.
Yeah.
Not very successful. But anyway, Beaufort Street in Mount Lawley in Perth, and like they do like really good kebabs. They're fucking amazing kebabs.
Right.
But my friend was not a fan of them. I remember because he said the same thing, and he tried to throw it out, and it exploded all over his car. So this egg just fucking went all over his body and shit.
I was just trying to throw it. It's
Yeah. So I don't know why I brought that up. But I was
Yeah.
but there is like there's food rage. There's a lot of food rage.
So back to your music.
Maybe this is the process.
Yeah, you get inspired by dry burgers.
Have a fucking shit burger and go write some fucking angry music.
Oh my god.
Burger fucking sucks.
Oh my god.
Music.
Yeah.
Why don't you call like a track and shield hero just like dry chicken sandwich?
have started going like more like psycho with the naming conventions recently, so that might.
I'm waiting for double whopper at 2 a.m.
Whopper and fries.
The names only appear in like the soundtracks, right? They don't appear in the show, right? So you can just make.
No, I mean, if you're doing like an OP or an ED, they do have the opening. In the opening credits, say like, you know,
Yeah.
blah, and some
They use these tracks. Dry chicken sandwich by Kevin Frank.
Dry chicken sandwich OP
Australian
for
rage.
insert anime here. You've never heard from it.
No, because I did notice in some of your tracks in Shield Hero, like I think the first Shield Hero, there were like some weird names in there.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm gonna get it out now.
Here
They
we
were
go.
like some of like the usual suspect names of like generic anime music names, and then there was just. So you go through this soundtrack list, and most of them are like, normal. You have a track that's called "The Rising of the Shield Hero."
Of course, the titular title.
Of course, you have like some isekai type lists, type track called like Game Start and stuff like that. And then you go down to like near the bottom, and then there's a track called like Spirit Bomb. I'm like, that was that like a cheap Dragon Ball Z reference? Probably is. It's Kevin. Okay, we can get away with that. We can get away with that. And then you're just like boom, boom, boom. And you're like, Kevin, are you kind of running out of names? And then you go down even further, and then there's a track just called Noms.
I forgot about that.
I listened to the track, and I'm just like, this name has nothing to do with the track at all. And then you go next, it's like Matty Boy.
Matty Boy.
Who's Matty Boy? Who's Matty Boy? I want to know.
Explain this. I can't explain the noms. I'm out on that one. My bad on that one, but
That was a 2 a.m. chicken sandwich.
He's like, I can really go for BK right now. Noms.
What was the first one you said it was? What was it? It was
Spirit Bomb.
Oh, Boom Boom Boom.
Boom,
You
boom,
watched
boom.
the interview? Like with Franco and Seth Rogen.
Yeah.
Like the one that like got Sony hacked by North Korea.
Yeah.
No, because like when they finally like shoot down Kim Jong Un in the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fucking Franco's character just goes boom, 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 and like fires a tank bullet into the helicopter, and that's the reference.
That's it.
That's it.
What's that got to do with Shield Hero?
Fucking nothing.
Is it even like a boomy track? It's just like.
I can't know. I think so. Yeah. No, it is.
Yeah.
It's like a battle thing.
It was like 50 plus tracks.
It's a lot. Yeah, that one. Yeah.
How many?
That's
How many?
a big one.
That seems like excessive almost.
Well, I mean, because it was 26 episodes, 25 or 26 episodes, so that required. So basically, what happens is, I'm sure you all know, but just for clarity and all that sort of thing.
Yeah.
So there's normally cores, so 1 core, 2 cores.
Yeah.
Like a season, kind of.
So
yeah.
1 core is 12 or 13 episodes.
Okay.
It's like 2 core is
Right.
like 24,
Okay,
26
okay.
episodes, something along that length. And so, for example, Main Abyss season 1, of course, is like 13 episodes, so it's
1 core.
Right.
Shield Hero had 26 episodes, you call it 2 core.
Yeah.
So normally for 2 cores, you don't double the music, but you probably like 1.5 times it.
Right.
Okay.
So for Main Abyss, the season 1, I think the soundtrack comes in at 1 hour and 52 minutes, something like that.
Right.
And I think it's about. I think that was actually about 50 something tracks, or like maybe 40, mid 40 tracks.
Yeah. Jesus. Yeah.
But then Shield Hero, it was about 62 tracks. And it's about 2 hours and 50 minutes of music.
And is that like left up to you? Do you decide how many tracks you're making?
No,
Or
actually.
Are they like, hey, we need 62 tracks, make them all sound different?
It's actually pretty specific. So what basically happens is when you get commissioned to write anime music, you get basically a massive Excel sheet called the music order.
Yeah.
So when you get the music order, it's basically just like you'll have like M1, like music 1, and then it'll say like main theme. And then like M2 will be like main theme happy version. And then like M3 will be main theme dark version.
Right.
M4 main theme hero version. Something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Just quite generic sort of like descriptions, and they might have some explanation, or they might have some visual images and stuff like that. So you actually get a lot of freedom, which I really, really like. So if you think about how, like, because they'll have all that sort of thing, and then maybe once you get to like M20, it'll be like battle 1, speed battle, or like battle 2, like serious. Sometimes, I mean, we can get very specific as well, but like it'll start from that sort of like slightly more abstract sort of approach, which is actually really, really cool, because that way you actually do have a lot of kind of, like I said, freedom to actually just trying to explore different ideas. And just like I guess,
And you get the freedom to call a track Noms.
Well, I guess the track name doesn't really matter, right?
Right.
Because when you're writing it, this has changed. Like my process on this has changed like a little bit since Shield Hero, admittedly. So I probably wouldn't do that again. But
That was a process.
Eventually. When you're writing, what I like to do is try and match a lot of like sort of the textual stuff I was talking about earlier.
Yeah.
I love trying to match text to the actual visual sort of palette, if you will. Best way, like one of the most sort of basic examples or classic examples I can give is in Made in Abyss. Obviously, like it's quite a small amount of like kind of kid characters going into like a huge like cavernous abyss.
Yeah.
Inside of exploring. Also, you see in the visuals. There's normally a lot of wide shots where you just see kind of the small characters and it just goes like super far. And so like the idea of trying to actually depict that visual sort of stimuli in music is quite appealing to me. It's sort of almost like it's called like word painting, which is basically like say you have lyrics and say I am going to rise up, and then the melody is I am going to rise up. It's like literally rising with
rising with the shield.
Rising with the shield.
Well, actually, because in the main theme, it like the violin part at the start does actually rise up. And again, it's like it sounds so basic, but it is good fun.
Yeah.
A lot of the like chord stuff in Made in Abyss also like saw that ascension. So you hear a lot of like. Normally it's normally going down or up, but like like the whole idea of like things rising and falling as best as possible.
So like one thing I've always wondered is pretty much how you like blew up onto the scene, because I think like you blew up immediately. In terms of like sound, in terms of being a composer, which is like I find it's really rare, but I think a big part of that was just that opening scene in Made in Abyss, where it was just like the instrumental with like the vocals as well, and it was just no dialogue. It was just like a montage, just using this opening track, and it just like immediately, not only did it sell you on the show, but it just like put your work onto the map. Like, how did that come about? Was that planned, or was that just like a happy coincidence?
I was like totally lucky, and I'm glad I was like almost, because I had a different track. I had a much more subtle track in mind for that.
Right.
Called Swings and Roundabouts. That was like kind of my original idea for that thing. So it was supposed to be let's do these nice kind of really good textures and stuff as the light kind of comes over. But then the sound director and the director decided differently to kind of, because like, you don't write these unless it's a movie or it's a specific scene that's been requested to be written synchronized to picture.
Yeah.
All the music is written what's called free.
Right.
And then it's synced later.
Right.
Oh, so that wasn't meant to be synced at all.
Originally, my vision of it was to be different, but the director and the sound director obviously had a pretty deep discussion. They decided to put that song there, and even better, they decided to put it there with minimal dialogue and sound effects, which is ridiculously like lucky.
Yeah.
And so just to I guess just to like how to even explain this. To see that happen and to be so happily wrong about like what my vision was for that. I think I was just like, oh man, thank God people are smarter than me. But like, because that song was written just as sort of an kind of almost just like another, like trying to make another palette for the soundtrack. Because when you start it, you're just kind of going through like point after point after point. It's like, okay, well let's just try and write a piece of music based off this manga panel. Or let's try and write a piece of music based off this description or this idea. Obviously like reading through the content and stuff.
So I was thinking like, oh yeah, they must. What do they give you? I'm like, oh yeah, you can just go to the manga most of the time, right?
Yeah, manga or in Tarragon you got manga as well. And that it's really, it really is helpful. I mean,
I bet. Know the layout.
It's super helpful. And so just when you're able to like kind of look at what essentially you can just see the entire story kind of pan out. Obviously you're given like anime specific materials as well, which is super helpful. But when you're just trying to find something that actually kind of hopefully like, what's the best word, respects the content as well. You're kind of creating, you're adding an audio element that was not there before. Whereas the manga might be there before, so there might be reference that, people might be able to reference the anime to the manga and say, okay, well this is similar, this is different, and stuff like that.
Right.
The music never existed, so it's both freeing and also kind of terrifying to potentially mess that up.
Yeah, that's insane, because like when I saw that scene, I was like, this is so perfect for this opening scene. It must have been like specifically made for this one scene.
Right.
It was made around. It was made around like scenes like that.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
it
yeah,
was-
yeah.
I would almost describe it more as like it was almost an impression of the show itself.
Yeah. Did you feel like, because that was your first? Was that your first anime work?
No, sir. It was. That's my. Jeez, man, that was my third.
That was your third.
Yeah.
That was your third. Oh, okay. Wow.
All right. Right.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
So no, the first one was. It's all with the same company, Kinema Citrus, but
Right.
we did something called Norn 9.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Yes, what is that?
So Norn 9 is actually it was a video game, and it was actually a video game I did with Uematsu like way back when. So he did the main theme for that. I did
okay.
a GM for this game called Norn 9.
Right.
And then a couple years later, when I started doing anime for this company called Kinema Citrus, they said we're actually doing an anime of Norn 9 as well.
Right.
And so that I did.
So you were like the natural pick for that.
Yeah, maybe that was it.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe that was it.
Because like, I mean, I guess it makes sense to get the guy who did the game. Right?
Yeah.
So
Shit.
yeah.
Yeah, I didn't think about it.
What?
Is that not obvious?
No, okay, yeah. As a shithead now in my fucking 30s, just fucking sipping sparkling water. and
You're like,
sweating
wow,
my-
what a coincidence. to do that.
No, but
What a
like,
happy little coincidence.
Like that wasn't like a 5-head observation. Like I was like,
I'm a cum bitch. What do you want?
oh, okay, wow.
So, okay, sorry.
Yeah.
I just apologize for the microphone one.
I
Yeah.
think it's okay.
Yeah.
You don't
This is
apologize
exactly why this thing is
to the
right here.
microphone.
Yeah, it was a shock absorber. Yeah.
absorb.
I'm gonna go
Yeah.
home now. I'm gonna go home.
So you did Norn 9.
I was going on about at the same time. Maybe this is why I didn't think about it. I was also doing something called Underdog, which was a
Yes,
OVA.
a Kickstarter.
Oh.
Yes, a Kickstarter OVA. And that came first. And so I just, I didn't know like how everything kind of progressed, but I was on that for the trailer music, and then they asked if I wanted to do the actual soundtrack.
Yeah.
So that was so cool because that was like that was the first one. That was the first. I was like,
Oh wow, I had no idea.
I was like well happy about that.
Yeah.
I've been like, just fucking, for lack of a better word, fantasizing about fucking trying to do anime for
Yeah,
years.
yeah.
I've been lucky enough to do games for a couple of years.
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
like, oh my god,
Yeah.
I'm so happy about that.
Yeah.
I was in college, and just finished college in London, so I was living here at the time. Had no idea what was going to happen, and all of a sudden, boom, like we were,
Now you're in anime.
Yeah.
I am yeah.
You were composing for games while in college?
Yeah, so when I did, when I was doing undergrad, that's when I started doing lots of stuff, and then that developed with other games, both Japanese and
So you were busy in
national.
school.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how I did it because I mean, again, maybe I'm
Maybe we'll get to the bottom of this while talking to you.
Yeah.
You obviously can't track.
I'll make another 5-head observation. And just like,
just like therapy times 3, therapist times 3. It's like, oh my god, everything makes sense. It's all connected, man. It's all connected, dude. But yeah, so I was working throughout college as well, and yeah, it just happened. I mean, I was just working, like just work, and just
Just fell over and just happened.
Yeah.
Game
tripped
composer.
and fell into
That's so
the
insane.
anime.
Like, most people, me included, don't do anything while at college.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought you were about to say don't anything
like in general.
I was like, don't you dare go down that route.
Never done anything.
I'll bring out those
Yeah.
compliments straight away, son.
Okay, so like now what I want to know actually is like how you and Gaunt got to know each other. Because like I kind of met you guys through that, right?
Yeah,
like I met
yeah.
you through Gaunt and whatnot. So like it's like where was the connection there?
That's a pretty simple connection. I hope you
Yeah.
remember it.
But I have like a pre-story
Okay.
which
okay.
connects to that.
Right.
So I think I might have like drunkenly mentioned this to Sydney or something potentially, but I haven't.
Yeah.
I don't think I've mentioned it to any of you. At least I don't remember mentioning it.
Yeah.
So I actually like when I was like going through like college and stuff, I like totally fell out of anime.
Right,
Like, I was
right,
like
right.
not watching it.
Yeah.
Like I remember when I was watching all the Ghibli stuff and whatnot, and some shows. Like some really important shows to me, like kind of just to get into the anime kind of fandom to begin with when I was like
Right.
14 or so. Then
Okay.
fell well out of it, just kind of went totally on the ground for a long time. And then what brought me back was doing Made in Abyss because I was like, it's like one of those shows where like creatively it was the first time I felt like, oh, I'm actually doing music that really feels like me, sort of thing.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm bringing like a lot of the sort of more experimental stuff that I learned in primary school, in undergrad. And then like I did my masters in London, and then that was sort of like honed like film music craft a little bit.
Right.
So I was
What
kind
was your degree in? Sorry.
I did a Bachelor of Composition and Music Technology at the West Australian Academy of Performing Arts, and then I did a Masters of music for screen, composition for screen at the Royal College of Music in London.
Oh, okay.
Damn.
Yeah,
Sorry
so-
for jumping that.
No, we cool. I can drop. So yeah. Oh yeah, I forgot to have a fucking MA. That's hilarious.
Yeah.
I mean.
You were going on Warp for so long. And he's like, oh yeah, I also have a master's degree. Wow, yeah.
No, RCM was awesome. I mean, it really kind of like honed the craft. That's why I was like production stuff and just like learned how to like produce music for film. But Whopper like focused a lot more on experimental music or new music, a lot of art music.
When you said Whopper, I thought you were talking about
Burger
King Whopper.
I was on a binge just eating a bunch of Whoppers, experiments with music.
I know. Sounds pretty accurate. Like it just kind of all came together for this this project. Where I mean, God bless Kingdom and Citrus, man. They just gave me so much freedom. So much, like, like, kind of birth to just kind of try some things that I didn't know how to do it, and I felt really good actually just kind of going through that process of going, well, I can I remember like that violin technique I've never like tried before, and try that sort of thing, and like I can try and like record in this giant space in Vienna that like can try and mimic like the size of the abyss sort of thing. Trying those sort of techniques that like were just introduced to me either through undergrad or postgrad. Right. It was just really nice. Really nice. What's the question?
How you and Gaunt met?
Oh, yeah. Sorry. There is a point to all this. I promise there is a point. Okay, so on the back of those feel goods, doing this, I was curious. Okay, how is the show doing?
Right.
And I would type in the.
You Googled yourself.
No. I Googled Made in Abyss.
Okay.
I Googled Abyss. I was like, okay, is it? How is it? Sort of thing. And all these YouTuber guys were starting to talk about it. I'm like, oh, okay, they're talking about it, they're liking it. And then you made this video about like which music, or what was your favorite anime and what
I think it was like one of like the anime of the year kind of thing where I did like a
anime
run.
You had like the art category and the animation category, and then you had the music category. And you made this like great joke like about the fact that I was Aussie.
No, because there was this one clip that got posted in like the behind the scenes documentary of Made in Abyss. And of course it's like very professionally made documentary. And then there's just this one clip of Kevin going to be like, he was talking to someone and I can't remember the exact line, but he talks about, oh yeah, can he's like, you refer to someone as like a mate or something like that, right?
So Dimitri was the guy I was talking to.
Right.
He's this amazing. He's like the main violinist in all the Abyss stuff.
Right.
So he is like the bosses of bosses when it comes to
right.
Unbelievable. His big voice.
Yeah.
So like he's like, oh yeah, I'm trying. It's good. Sorry, I don't do a good impression of him. He is a.
We don't know Dimitri, so I don't even know.
I'm more just covering my eyes. But because I don't play violin, I play flute. So I checked with college friends before going over. I'd be like, is this shit? This is fucked up. If I give this to someone in a recording studio. So obviously, remember, like when you go into a recording session, that's fucking thousands of euros or dollars, whatever it is, like a fucking hour. Like we're talking like 5 figures easily in a couple of hours. Like or 8 hours, depending on how many people you're hiring. Super expensive scenario to be like, oh, the flute player wrote fucking stupid fucking violin lines. So checking with friends or mates beforehand was exactly what I did. And I was trying to be chill about it. I was like, no, I just checked with like a mate, and like that. But the phrase mate, he did not understand. He's Austrian American. He was like, check with what? I'm like, oh, with a friend.
It was like,
it was in the behind the scenes.
It was in behind the scenes.
But he can't like fucking superimpose Land Down Under over that fucking clip.
Yeah, I mean, I checked with a mate, but he seemed to say that was okay.
Checked with a what?
With a friend.
Okay.
And but for some reason, it felt really cool to have like that, response from this YouTuber fucking guy. And so actually, and then I started getting really good. Like, okay, this lovely gentleman over here is thinking like this about, maybe this. Who else is thinking? Like, what does everyone else think about? So fucking Anitubers were the reason I got back into anime.
Oh shit, man.
No shit.
Holy shit.
Yeah. So
Anitube is doing a positive thing
We
for
did
someone?
something for the anime industry?
you
Yo!
guys brought me back, and
Holy
then
fuck.
once Abyss hit, we started going to conventions, and then I saw that you were gonna be there. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, I must say hello.
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
I've been enjoying the
Yeah.
I've been enjoying the content, and I have ever since.
No, because I remember because we were both going to Crunchyroll Expo, and I was like, oh, Kevin's going, and you know when you like, I don't know why, right? You just like bring out this aura of just like. He's a lad. He's a fucking lad. And that was extrapolated just from that one clip that's like, oh, I checked with the mate. And then he goes, check with the what? And then you just see the panic being like, check with the friend.
It's equal parts resting bitch face and spastic.
And I was just like, from the one clip, I was like, he seems like a lad.
Yeah.
Of course, we met at the first time at like the bar or something.
Right.
And I was
It's like
yeah.
Fitting.
Yeah. Where is a more fitting place than meeting each other at the bar? And I was.
Are you gigging?
Yeah. And it was like I was like prepared to be like, are you Kevin? Oh my god, I'm like a big fan of your work. Made in the Abyss was absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
Lo and behold, Kevin comes up to me and taps me on the shoulder.
Yeah.
And I like at this time, you know, Anichi was like way smaller than it is now. So like I'm just like a random guy who got just like invited to this anime expo. Been really excited to meet people in the industry, people who's actually worked on anime, and then Kevin taps me on the shoulder and be like, are you Giga? I fucking love your work. I'm like, why are you saying this to me? I should be saying this to you.
It's true. No, but that's the thing. I came from the exact same position. I was
Right.
I was just happy to be. I'm like happy to meet people. I met really. I mean, because of that show, I'm here.
Yeah. Right.
We got to get
And now I got like
it's like
Well,
now it's us.
my first time meeting you is when you ordered too much chicken, so that was a bonding experience.
I was gonna say we can. Because trauma's very trauma's very good for bonding.
I've never been back to that chain.
Yeah.
Well, the first time I met you was at an izakaya in Shibuya, and you were just like, "Oh, you want an oolong high?" And at first I was like, "Who's this bloke?" And then I realized it's fucking Kevin. And I was like, "Oh, okay."
There's like 4 Magnus ciders in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so of course, like Crunchyroll Expo, we like immediately bonded over fucking getting pissed as a British and Aussies do.
Of course.
But like, I remember you got to a point of drunkenness where you started like spewing some really interesting shit about your creative process of Made in the Abyss.
I did that last night to you.
You did that last night to me, yeah.
Where he, like, for some reason, there's like a certain drunkenness level where Kevin gets really eloquent about talking about his creative process in music. And he was talking about this one track which was played over like a very spoilerific moment in Made in the Abyss season 1. It was a very emotional moment, and he was talking about like using like juxtaposition and like techniques that he learned from like university and college. And I remember being like, I was pretty toasted. I was just like, this is really fucking interesting. I just really like, as like an anime fan, I would love to hear this when I'm sober, because I'm like not remembering any of this. So like I put a mental note to ask him about it the next day when I'm sober, and so is he, so we can explain in more detail. It's really fucking interesting. So I go to Kevin. I was like, Kevin, you were talking about this track in Made in the Abyss and like how you came up with that and what process you did. Like, can you like expand on that? Because that's really fucking interesting. And he just looks at me and goes, I have no idea what the fuck I said, mate.
No, Kevin did that to me on Friday. He went off about this one synthesizer for like 2 hours. He's like, you don't understand. When you put your finger on it, it's like 50 springs on your finger, and it feels amazing.
It is amazing.
It's like velvety, and it feels so good. And I'm just like,
Imagine putting your finger on, like, you know, like divers, like not skin, diver skin,
like a wetsuit.
What diver? So I got a synth that's made out of diver wetsuit with all these different springs underneath, and you play it like a seaboard. So you can like you play synths and stuff, but it's like a legato sort of thing.
Well, future assume I know what a seaboard is.
Oh yeah, something like that. Imagine a piano but with no keys, and it's just a line.
Yeah, that's a seaboard. Yeah,
like that. Imagine doing that with a piano. Yeah.
Is that the thing that they did like the fucking jerk it out meme on
What?
What?
Okay, oh, fuck.
What are you?
What the fuck are you talking about?
No, you know, it's one of the
No, not that, not that,
what is
not
that
that.
then? What is
It's like, okay, imagine that, but instead of a pen, it's your finger.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
This is a
Coro appendis. Yeah. So he was going off about that for like what felt like 2 hours, and it was really interesting. But I was his exact same situation. I was like, I'm really hammered. This is really cool. You're showing me all these like YouTube videos in this like really loud bar, and I'm like having to do this.
Yeah, it's like really like specific, kind of like quite nuanced sound.
Yeah.
Like I was like, oh, it's a 43-minute video. Just let me scrub for a minute.
Yeah.
It's just yeah.
But it's good to hear. It's like great when you're hearing someone who's like so passionate about something.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, like I do actually fucking love it. Like, it is like I might like joke about it a little bit and be like, oh, I don't remember how this fucking happened.
But you know, it's like at least like, you know, as like a fellow musician, I understood majority of what you were saying. I can't imagine what it was like for Garn, right? It's just like hearing all these like musicology terms. It's just like be like, yeah.
Have you ever heard a moose? Something like that.
The Garn's like,
is that something I should know?
Yeah, I think
I don't know why I chose a moose.
I asked about like the Doom soundtrack, and you were telling me about how to compose it, he got some Russian synth, and I was like,
you were telling me.
Yeah. And I was like,
we had two comments.
in my head, I was like, I understand that it being from Russia could add to the sound of it sounding more Doom-like. Yeah, I was just like, I'm in my head, I'm like, does the Russia have a lot of influence on the synth being like more Dooms-esque? Dooms-esque. Like, is the soundtrack of Russia just Doom? Like,
so yeah, I feel like once I tired you out, I like went
you
next
went
to the next victim. We were like, so let me tell you about Russian synthesizers.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know any synthesizers, but I'm open to hearing.
No, so the Polyvox is a Soviet era synthesizer that it's about 50 kilograms, and it has like one of the most gnarly fucking sounds. Because you got to think of, okay, synthesizer is based, I mean, among other things, it's voltage being put through an oscillator.
Okay,
so it's a fucking biblical sound. It is beautiful, and the way that you can shape these oscillators and then filter them through different effects and stuff makes a synthesizer's character come out. So the different types of processing that you have the oscillator. I mean, you can just listen to the oscillator be an oscillator, but at the same time, the way that it's processed through certain other like kind of effects and boards in a synthesizer gives it a certain unique characteristic.
This is exactly how he sounded the other night, by the way.
Very eloquent here.
But like, you know, in the same way, like you have like a guitar, right? And you have different makes of guitar, and the different types of guitar, that depending on how it's made, pickups and stuff like that, it'll have a different characteristic. Think of it like that, but electricity.
Okay.
Right.
And so this particular synthesizer that was used in the Doom soundtrack, and I would love to get one, but like they're not easy to get a hold of. It's like they are dated instruments now. That is dated.
So is your house just filled with just instruments and synthesizers and a bunch of other random stuff that you use?
So my fucking, I guess, call it both a quarter life crisis and like my pandemic kind of like
pandemic crisis.
Depression, fucking fuck COVID sort of like outlet was just to fill this room with just all this fucking shit. To just and like it helped. It helped a lot.
Yeah. I mean, I saw you tweeting about it constantly, right? So I'm like, it was all. Well, like that's the problem is that like all it took was for me to ask about this like one particular synthesizer that I really liked. All I said was, so Kevin, I heard you bought a Moog, and then he just went off for 2 hours.
So let me tell you my life story.
Yeah.
Now we always think like, what's the opposite of the horse girl? Well, apparently it's the synthesizer guy.
It's the synthesizer guy. The synth guy.
I'm still trying to figure out why I tried to make you think about what a moose sounds like. I don't know why I picked that. See, this is the problem. It's like I'm too sober.
I'm not making enough sense.
Yeah, I'm not making enough sense. Yeah, there's like a little gray area where you get between like dysfunctional and functional. Like, functional, dysfunctional. Again, why would I just decide just now that? I know everything upside down is up.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I'm a bit afraid to ask after what we've just talked about, but what is your creative process? Do you have one?
Right.
That's such a...
Because I'm sure you have like the answer prepared for like when you get asked that on a panel, and like I hear you answer that question on the panel, and I'm just like that is not like the Kevin that I know.
So yeah, so it's kind of weird because I don't like I haven't.
He's buffering. He's buffering.
He's buffering.
It's like the end, like what is it? The end, like the old DLR, whatever the DSR, whatever it's called. A DLR is fucking my bad. My bad.
Don't worry.
This is it. This is the process, right? This is the process. Fucking having some fucking stroke on camera.
You're good. This is
it's all good. It's all good. It's all
How
great.
much usable content we're actually making.
It's all cut.
Yeah, exactly. It's like
It's a 1 minute supercut.
Yeah.
you left the end. So
Is it the beeps and the boops?
No, well, yeah. So it comes from many places.
Right.
I can't make that sound good, so I'm just gonna meme it. But so let's say, for example, one way is that I've like woken up in the middle of the night, had like some sort of fucking weird fever dream, but then I've woken up with like some sort of melody in my head.
Yeah.
I'll write it down as like almost like a musical Morse code on like Evernote. So I got like Evernote, and I'll do like a little moment where it's like B dash dash. It's like B for 2 beats. So I'll write like a tempo, and maybe like the tempo.
You wake up thinking about melodies?
Only like sometimes. But then the problem is I'll like write it down and be like, oh, it's fucking good. I'm gonna go back to sleep now. I'm gonna wake up nice and early after I've had a nice rest. And, you know, just like get to work, and I wake up and I'm like, oh, it means fucking nothing to me. So I have to like reinterpret what I like wrote.
Momentum.
Because I used to do that as well, but now when I do it, I just sing into my phone. So the next morning I wake up and I'm just like, it's just like audio of me just like really quietly at like 3 in the morning. Aki must think I'm fucking psychotic because I'm just singing to myself at 3 in the morning.
I mean,
but it helps.
I mean, another way that I like start a piece of music would be like literally just try and like find a cool sound or a cool like.
Right.
So yeah, whether it be like one of the therapy synthesizers that I decided to get.
Which synthesizer should I use today?
You know, just loading up Logic Pro and just being like, okay, let's fuck around and just see what happens. It's a cheeky little piano sometimes. It's nice. And
Stop playing stuff.
Yeah, it's just like, well, most of it's shit, but then eventually you get something that's like, okay, it's not too shit that I couldn't come back and like find it later. It might be a little bit of a riff, sometimes stuff like that. But so like, let's take Rise of the Shield Hero main theme. At the start, it's just like sad piano. It's just like sad piano.
Yeah.
But then you have this violin coming in, going.
Yeah.
And it kind of rises up.
Yeah.
It's the Mario theme.
I was like, I don't remember that in the Rise of the Shield Hero.
No, I would be very out of work.
I'm coming with this.
Nintendo lawyers knocking at your door. Like.
I was trying to do like the what's the melody version of that? I guess that really not. I'm sorry, people. I'm very sorry. No,
I'm sorry, guys. I'm so bad.
I'm too sober
I
for this.
didn't come prepared. Like my blood alcohol is not So the rest of the Shield Hero. So the kind of starts. That was where so I would start with that and try and work around that.
Right.
So, like, I guess you could think of it as like, you know, you're creating like one little line, and then you're creating another little line that kind of connects to that, and so it kind of slowly becomes like a sort of a bit more of a complicated kind of thing.
Becomes like patchwork type of thing, right? Yeah.
And then like you kind of like go back to like kind of fill in and refine. So like maybe I'll have like a structure of something, or I'll have like, you know, most of the structure of something to work with, and then I'll just kind of sit back and be like, okay, what sucks, what needs to be changed, and just kind of refine. Almost like something like drench fishing.
What's that?
It's where like they
you just
fishing,
throw
like,
the net
where it's
out
like a net, it's like, and they kind of drag the seaboard, like the seabed, and let's kind of pick up fish like that way. It's like a filter process where you just
Dredging.
That was the loudest like 5 seconds of silence ever on the show.
that was the loudest silence I've ever heard in my life.
I was trying to process.
It was just like.
I think I was trying to say dredge, but then I thought of like the Mariana Trench.
Yeah, I was
and
like,
I combined it all. Welcome to the fucking Freudian nightmare that is my head.
Dredge fishing.
Yeah, dredge fishing.
Right.
But like you think of that as like, but you're just like going through, you're listening. You're listening.
Yeah.
Just, I don't know what action is anymore. And then you're just kind of refining until you kind of can't find any more like flaws, so to speak.
Right.
Or you run out of time. But,
Right.
Yeah.
Do you kind of like show those like unfinished or like combed through pieces to like other people to get like a second opinion, or do you kind of just
all
like?
the time. There's like a few kind of core people where I'll be like, hey, so
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Just be honest.
Yeah. Just tell me it real.
What's the track and you wrote and you're just like, this one's the banger. This one's a fucking banger. And I can't wait to hear this.
This is the one that will explode my career.
No, I don't think like that.
Okay.
What I normally like more, what I gravitate more in terms of like being confident about the track is kind of the process of it.
Yeah.
I use an example that I can't tell you like now, but like last night. But like let's take like Made in Abyss season 1 for example.
Right.
There's a track that I mentioned earlier called Swings and Roundabout, and it involves a really cool sort of arpeggio style playing technique called arpeggiation on the violin. So normally when you play a violin, and I'm sorry, any violinists out there about to fucking hate me because I'm gonna explain what a violin does like as a flautist, and it's gonna suck. But if you think of it, because normally you see a violin, they play 1 or 2 strings at a time, and then they normally like change their fingers like that. One of the techniques that I really enjoyed was where they put fingers on all 4 strings and then just kind of bow up and down on all 4 strings and almost make like a chord. So it's, well, if you do like that, it doesn't do much, but you go 1, 2, 3, 4, back 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's like this kind of cool kind of chord sort of thing, and you can play it very, very fast.
Yeah.
Musician. But then you can change that all the time. So you always like kind of changing chords all the time, and you can make like this really cool because it's a very shimmery sort of texture. But I did that on 1 violin, and then I had in Abyss season 1 we had 3 violins, 3 viola, 2 cello, and 1 bass, and they're all of them playing like solo parts. So it's like 9 solos together, and they're all playing these different chords, like arpeggiated chords together, and it's sort of making this bit of this sort of cacophony of like sounds and stuff. So like doing those sorts of things makes me feel good about that track. It's like, oh, I got to explore this kind of crazy thing. I got to like kind of make this. Yeah, exactly. It's like, oh, I got to like kind of explore that, and it didn't fucking fail.
And it sounds good.
It sounds great. Yeah, and and I like the noise.
Yeah, this is so alien to me. That you're explaining all this stuff, and it literally just sounds like another world. Like it doesn't sound like a thing that I can even comprehend. But I appreciate it because I know you're making sense. Yeah, it's just like. To me, I have like such engineering and math brain. The way I approach everything, and like it's very like I just do it. I do. There's nothing that's like just a gut feeling.
There's no experimentation.
I mean, there needs to be a part of that in this process as well. Because experience means that you can execute these ideas. You can have. I've had like crazy fucking ideas that I have no idea how to do, and I still don't.
Yeah, I was gonna ask. Well, you said something earlier, and I was like, how do you convince? So you mentioned that you're in like a chapel or something, and you're recording like an orchestra or something.
Right.
How do you go like, hey higher ups, I have this idea. I'd like to rent out a church somewhere in Austria. Could we ship and get a bunch of violinists and all the people there? It might work out. Let's just see how it goes. By the way, it's $100,000.
Yeah.
The might part is definitely not something that I translate.
You're like, it's definitely
gonna work.
I mean, first off, thankfully there's trust. So like that.
Right. I mean, you've proven that
a little bit of trust. Yeah. But so obviously, like when you start a project, you give it a go. And you know, the budget, you know, sometimes you can like kind of stretch it a little bit, and you know, you can do some little bit of black magic just to get some deals and stuff.
Is
to make it
budget
work.
like this might sound stupid. There's budget, and then you get your pay separate, right? That's like completely. Or is it like you have to decide? Make it all in one.
No, there's a composer's fee, and then it's
Right, okay, makes sense.
Production fee.
Okay, makes sense.
Right. Pretty standard. But, so when we were able to kind of like explore this idea of using Made in Abyss as an example, like we were trying to explore this massive studio called the Synchron Stage in Vienna, which I think it fits like 135 musicians. It's a massive room.
Yeah.
Like I'm pretty sure it's like a football field, if not slightly more. Like it is
I understand
big.
that metric.
Yeah.
A football.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's
no,
like
there we
big
go.
studio, and it's got a really unique sound profile, and so you can stick like a really small amount of musicians in there, and it will sound fucking huge because they put all these microphones around. So you get all these ambient microphones. They stick them like fucking 30 feet up in the air and stuff, and you have like liquid out triggers, and you got like everything. Then you got all this sound to play with.
Is that not just like a nightmare to have to go through all those different like angles of sound?
Nah,
almost?
pleasure, mate.
Oh, okay. To me, you're saying that to me, and I'm like, holy shit, the setup required to
Kevin
get
gets
all those-
off on that.
I'm raging hard on for it now.
Just setting up like 4 mics for this fucking podcast gives me an aneurysm.
He sees a mic 30 feet up in the air, he's just bricked off. He's like, damn, that's gonna sound so good.
These mics got me acting up, man.
So you have absolute permission to like slit my throat if I don't actually utilize the space like that. Like you
Right.
Yeah. But no, like so the space is phenomenal, and then we get a small amount of musicians because like we decided like okay, small amount of characters in the film in the show, small amount of musicians to kind of like mimic that kind of party size.
Yeah.
And so just having like 3 solo violins, 3 solo viola, 2 solo cello, 1 solo bass, but then them all kind of doing their own thing. But because the space is so good and so clean, you can have all these voices like really not if you orchestrate correctly.
Right.
You can so it's like if you balance your textures correctly, all that sort of shit.
Yeah.
You can have like a really rich sound with a small amount of people, and it can sound phenomenal.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. It's really
You're
fun.
performing magic.
Yeah.
This means you just said like so many words that I'm like, I get it.
I'm like, damn, man, say that again.
I mean, because sometimes like
I appreciate it.
no, not at all. But I mean, sometimes like just the basic stuff, like even just doing the basic, like, but it is like kind of let's call it simple, like refined simple sort of ideas is really really fun. One of the other tracks that's in Abyss Season 1 called Recapitulation. Something in recapitulation, sorry. But I should probably remember my own tracks. But it just involves the 9 strings, just playing just notes. And all they're doing is changes the duration of the bow hand in order to get shorter or longer notes. So they have like 3 different levels of length of note.
But it's the same note.
It's the same note. I mean, we change up the chords sometimes, but it is quite minimalist. That particular track.
Right.
So basically, if you change the texture in that room, because you have something called oh Christ, I should probably remember the damn thing from what's it called? No, we're gonna this.
All right. You'll remember it. You'll remember it.
All good, man. All good.
It's like early reflections. I think it's called early reflections.
Okay.
Right.
The early reflections of the sound. So like the sound that kind of like because sound's flying everywhere in the room.
Right.
And so,
it's one thing I do understand.
Sound goes everywhere, and obviously it bounces off certain points and then comes back to the microphone. So those early reflections in that room are really, really cool.
Right.
And they have a lot of character. So it's almost like an echo effect, or like a chorus effect. And so, for example, if I recorded your voice in there, but I didn't use like the mic that's in front of you, but I used the mics that caught like the first reflections of you just behind you or in front of you or something like that.
Right.
It would almost sound like there's like 10 of them.
Right.
Really cool chorus effect. It's quite unique to that. I mean,
Because it's kind of like spread out and bounced around a little bit, right? Yeah.
Because of the quality of the wood in the room and stuff.
Yeah.
Things change, and so it is like a really good room.
So is this place like famous? Because I can't imagine. Okay, you're gonna record a soundtrack. You want like a certain sound profile for like Made in Abyss, like because this place seems like it was tailor made for a series like Made in Abyss, set in caverns and wide open spaces.
Yeah.
How do you like go about finding the perfect recording spot or the perfect recording space?
The correct recording spot.
Yeah, the correct.
So for Abyss, it was that one. I think because Rising of the Shield Hero, we recorded in Boston with a rock orchestra, and they specified in rock orchestra. So the players did live performances at the time with a full live band. I think they did some Final Fantasy stuff among other Square Enix projects, among other things as well.
Right.
So they like kind of specialized in that kind of quite cool kind of attitude orchestra with rock, which is what we wanted to achieve for Shield Hero.
Right.
Tower of God, obviously, I mean, it's in the name as well. It has like a slightly biblical sort of sensibility about it. And we found this hall in the Czech Republic called the Dvořák Hall. So it's this beautiful old hall built, I think, in the name of Dvořák. So he's like a very, very, very famous composer of romantic, late romantic music, I should say. But so this hall was designed either for him or by him or around him. So sorry about not being specific about it, but it is a beautiful concert hall. It is ancient. It has this beautiful, lush sort of like reverb tail and stuff. It is fucking pretty to like listen to, and it's a performance hall, but they also do recording there.
Yeah,
and we recorded string orchestra there for Tower of God because it had this sort of almost cathedral-esque sort of sensibility, which worked great for certain aspects of the Tower of God soundtrack.
Right.
Concepts.
Right.
So this one hall, it had a very specific sound that, say, a normal cathedral wouldn't.
I'm sure a normal cathedral would, but that's when practicality comes into it. So
Right.
you got to make sure at the end of the day that, again, you got to fit within certain budgets and stuff like that. You just gotta, I mean, that's part of like the business skills part of it, which it does come in.
Because I imagine you have these grandiose ideas and this concept that you have, and there's a guy there that is like, I am here to scale you down.
Yeah.
I'm here to make sure that you keep your
So you're pushing the envelope a little bit, aren't you? Like,
It's like I want to record on the moon because it's a space opera. I'm like, you know.
Yeah.
No, there's no sound in space.
We're getting real experimental.
We're gonna build a cathedral in space.
Yeah. Apparently, a dying black hole, or like a black hole, is like the loudest sound ever. But you can't hear it.
I believe it.
Yeah, I believe that.
Probably.
Yeah. The moon would be nice, but I don't think I'm gonna.
You're not gonna make a whole lot of progress there.
No.
What can you tell us the fact about the dying black hole being the loudest thing?
I think they did manage to record it. Oh no, yeah. I think it is. It must be the loudest sound. It's a black hole consuming stars. But they managed to record the sound of it. I think recently, and it's like this eerie fucking it's atoms being crushed into nothing.
Yeah. Right.
Anyway,
Interesting bit of.
We're not going to the moon. We're not going to the moon.
Second loudest is a Modern Warfare 2 lobby.
Exactly.
So I guess moving from Made in Abyss, one thing I've noticed is that you always try to do something new with like every new project that you take on. I guess that's why you put a lot of experimental stuff into Made in Abyss. And I feel like Tower of God, right? That's just like dubstep, which is like so far removed from what you were doing in Made in Abyss. Like, how did that come about?
Like, did you have to listen to like a lot of dubstep to like study it, or did that just like come out?
Did they tell you, or was that your decision to be like, I'm gonna put a bunch of fucking dubstep
No,
in
it's
it
because
right now?
I used to go to a lot of fucking raves.
I just feel like making a rave.
No. Like one of the people I worked with, okay, pre-story again, but so Perth has like a massive drum and bass scene.
We're really in the backstory.
Yeah. But Pendulum from there, for example.
Oh yeah, true.
Of course.
It has a great scene, and so when I went to Whopper, I got introduced because I was like, I love video game music, and that's it. Sort of thing. But then one of my friends, one of my really, really close best friends that we're still really, really close today.
Yeah.
So we've known each other. It's getting on 13 years now.
Yeah.
But he used to be like, oh well, we're going to this fucking, we're going to like this like hotel bar to go to a rave, and I've got a track. One of the DJs to play one of my drum and bass tracks. Come. and then let's do a bunch of fucking like vodka cruises and whatnot. And just dance like a fucking Energizer bunny on the fucking floor, like for like 3 or 4 hours, and it would be great. And so I kind of kept that. And when I moved here, obviously, there's big kind of EDM.
Yeah. I just like to imagine you at like DEF CON or something, and you're just standing there like they don't know I'm a flautist. It's just like standing there.
I'm very good at the world's shittiest shuffle. You know? But
I would pay to see that.
Yeah, no, it's like, but that culture of dance music, and especially
like hardcore music.
Either liquid drum and bass or dark drum and bass fucking just kept with me.
Yeah.
So like, if you think about like kind of those elements where it's either like very, very fluid sort of synthesizers, or it can be like there is some fucking hardcore like music like in that genre. Like,
yeah.
If you've like been to like man, it's like there's so many like examples, but if you hear like I can't even think of like, I remember going to a couple of gigs in either South or East London when I was living here.
Yeah.
And the fucking bass that comes out of some of these like venues, man.
Yeah.
There's like
Holy
speakers, like I went to this warehouse gig once. I can't remember where because it's been so long ago, but like I remember like just walls and walls of speakers for hundreds of meters, and then because it's like a 3-story warehouse, they've got speakers going up.
Yeah.
Fucking bass that comes out of those mixes. When you're on the dance floor, obviously you had a couple of vodka tonics or something like that. Man, you just like it's wettening. It's so
you feel every atom in your body just like shake. Yeah.
Especially the bass, like it's a fucking physical reaction.
Yeah.
It's fucking biblical, man. It's so good.
Yeah.
And so like,
the bass is good when you don't hear it, you just feel it.
You do. Feel it.
That's such a good adjuctive.
Yeah.
Biblical. I'm going to use that more often.
It's resonating in your chest. It's really good. It feels awesome, and it sounds great as well. Until you start bleeding.
This chicken sandwich, biblical.
Biblical.
Fucking biblical, mate. It's so good that Jesus had to get involved. Like,
it is a little spiritual. It is a little spiritual. But yeah, so that culture and that feeling, still is with me, even though I write a lot of orchestral music as well. When it came to Tower of God, if you look at the manhwa, because manhwa, unlike manga, is it's colorized.
Yeah.
So if you look at the color palette for Tower of God in the manhwa, it's actually very minimalist. There's normally like 3 or 4 like very big bold colors on a panel, and then you go back and you see these really interesting, like some of the characters are sometimes just silhouettes against like a huge, beautiful background,
right,
in front of a giant creature or something like that. So there's a as a composer, it's like kind of a bit of a wet dream. It's really good. So if you think about taking really bold colors that are contrasting and trying to put them together in a musical sense, like you can split it into, let's say, a frequency range. You can go high, mid, low. So if you have, I did a theme for one of the characters, Rachel. And her theme is literally just harp. So there's harp in the middle. There's like dial-up style tones on top, and then just this bass comes in to just kind of punch you in the face, essentially,
right?
In the chest cavity. And so like that sort of like dubstep with harp, for example, like, how can we find an interesting combination that still kind of relate back to this idea of frequency spectrums being kind of split up to represent very minimalist but maximalist style coloring and patterns. That sort of thing. So like, you have like these kind of pretty harp and also but, and then like also like very I know, welcome. But like, these sorts of like also radical changes in texture as well. Like that suits Tower of God in my mind, at least.
No, it definitely did.
So, like, when you handed it to them and you were like, here it is. They were like, were they like, whoa?
Well, it was kind of interesting because we did essentially what you could call almost like a concept album. We did like 13 tracks. We were like, we're going to put together 13 contrasting tracks to
That's
present.
quite a lot of tracks.
It was a big investment. But like we did like the first 13 tracks as like sort of proof of concept, saying like, this is what we want to do. This is how we want to do it. We need this style of choir and this harp and dubstep idea, and we want to punch people in the face with like fucking, like beats and shit. And they were all for it. Which again, just fucking lucky, and thank you to them for like actually just being
cool with it.
Cool.
I feel like when you explain stuff in music, I'm like, okay, all right.
I have achieved the impossible.
I feel like I'm. If I was the exec, I'd be like, you sound like you know what you're doing. I'll believe you.
You mentioned the word biblical. That's all I need to know.
He said biblical, minimalist, and then maximalist. And within like 1 second, and I was like, that sounds like you know what's up.
So look into my eyes, not a
I just like, I'm like, yeah, okay. Harps go with, of course.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, at the end of the day, you also need to execute the concept.
Right. Of course,
And so, like, because obviously everything's done kind of in a computer, so to speak, until you go to the recording process. So you're also showing a demo. You're not showing like the full realized sort of thing. So then you've got to potentially risk, going and finding the right musician, finding the right space, within the right budget, of course, as well.
Are you the one handling all of this? Is the?
Oh, I mean, it's not like I've got sort of the music supervisor, the music director. That we work with every day. So.
Right. So if you need someone to play the harp, right? You need someone to record it. You're like, I know a guy, or you're like, please find me a harp person.
Well, this is the lucky part about going to a music college. Because
you know everyone.
You get to know a bunch of musicians.
Exactly. So, like, a couple of the composer friends that I went to Whopper with, and so I'm gonna come back to it, but it's all fucking, it's all connected, man.
My man's got Dimitri on speed dial. It's like, hey yo, I know the guy.
No. He knows a mate.
Yeah, he knows a mate.
He's a beautiful boy.
Yeah.
Beautiful man. So like for example, like when I went to undergrad in Whopper, like I had a couple of friends and stuff that like I started working with on Tower of God. So Matt McLean, Feeding Air is his name, and we did some drum bass stuff for Tower of God.
Yeah.
That was like really, really nice.
Yeah.
And then I knew some musicians that went to the RCM here in London.
Right.
And like those student musicians are bloody good.
Yeah.
And, those student musicians of the RCM become they have a very, very good chance of becoming working musicians.
Yeah.
Right.
You'd hope so. You'd hope so, right?
There is a really they are beautiful musicians, and because you're just basically breaking bread with these guys for 2, 3, 4 years. I mean, you're going to the RCM bar and getting hammered with these guys all the time, and so you have like this connection. In the same way that we kind of broke a little bread over about 600 gin tonics. But you do the same with like the musicians and stuff. They're good friends, but they also they come to work.
So it sounds like every aspect of the entertainment industry. It's like you can be good at what you do, but also you need to go out and talk to people.
Exactly.
It's super important. And so when it came to certain projects like this, like Tower of God, like I mean Valeria was the harp player, and she does not only classical harp, but she also does improv harp. So I could just give her like I could almost give her some really piece of shit fucking like sheet music where I'm like I've done my best to like make it so that it doesn't look like an absolute insult, but feel free to like just interpret this in a non-shitty way.
Right.
I was going to ask about this. I was like, you're mentioning that you're the one writing the sheet music, basically, like, roughly.
Yeah.
How do you come across the knowledge of every single instrument you want to use?
Pain and suffering.
Because obviously if you're a violinist, you do violin. You're very good at it.
Yeah.
But like you're like, I need to know this Russian synth. Also, can I find the harp? And I need to write that. Like this sounds like an overload of knowledge that you have to acquire or have a rough understanding of almost everything.
So when you're orchestrating for a large ensemble, so harp is a very, very specific and very unique instrument. It works on a pedaling system, which I understand the concept of, but don't know how to like achieve.
Right.
So what I would say is that you're kind of working up your base knowledge of certain things.
Right.
Obviously, like when I write woodwind sectionals, it's a lot kind of, let's call it more natural.
Because you understand that.
Yeah, so okay, I understand that if I do something quite fucky, that there's going to be a will or a way to kind of get it done.
Yeah.
And that's why you hear like a quite a few flute passages and whatever. So because you hear a lot of flute jumping up and down, up and down, up and down, because like
It's like it's just your comfort instrument, right? It's just like.
But then when it comes to say Dimitri, the violinist, because he is such a fucking boss, I can do like what would normally be insultingly stupid shit. But he'd be like, okay, let's go, and just fucking I can do this, I can do that, and then just fucking like does all these different permutations of it. Just do a bunch of takes and just cut them together, and it just sounds fucking awesome. And I'm just sat there like, oh shit, it actually worked. And then like, so it's literally just like fuckload trial and error.
I was going to say, it must be a long journey.
Couple of risks, but then also like I did learn orchestration. Like which is basically just going through every instrument and just being like what does and does not work, and you just build it up. So flute, but then there's alto flute, bass flute, and then bass flute has certain characteristics in which if you go too high on the bass flute, it's going to start doing overtones.
Right.
The alto flute and the flute or the piccolo won't do in the same way.
Would you say there's always a concern then when you're like, I don't want this guy to think I'm a fucking idiot for writing this and then handing it to a professional? Like,
that's why I like in your chill atmosphere in the studio.
Okay.
And for example, that's why if you see in that.
That's when you start to call people mates.
Yeah, it's like you want to bring your A game, so you come with the best possible job that you could have done.
Yeah.
You've done as much research as possible on the instrument. It's I mean, because that's why I gained a lot of weight in pandemic. So I was just like working, but I couldn't do anything to like kind of get rid of the stress. Because it's like like, okay, I need to do this, I need to do that, and like the Star Wars thing, like you want to make sure that is right.
Of course.
You want to bring the best fucking sheet music. You want it to be beautifully typeset. You want that to be the best looking music you've ever written.
Right.
On page, and you want the musicians to be happy because you want the project to go really, really well.
Right.
Thankfully it did, but like again, like you bring your A game and then you give the musician enough adequate scope if there is a mistake.
Yeah.
Or you get yourself. You know what it is? It's almost like you're refining the level of potential mistake down to where there's like you're in a sphere of like safety. And then within that, if there's a mistake, if there's something like that, that dynamic doesn't work. That doesn't work. That doesn't work. Blah, blah,
will they
blah,
tell you? Will they be like, this part isn't really doable, or like let's just.
They should tell you, and that's why it's good to be like, hey, just so you know, if there is anything wrong, tell me. I don't mind.
That's why I guess.
But if it's but that is literally the conversation. You have that conversation all the time. Because I don't. There are people that was like, okay, well, we'll go for a take now. Okay, thank you. People like that, like that's fine. But I guess maybe like my style, my style right now at least is like, I'm just happy to be here, and I just, I want to make this.
I'm just a mate. I'm just a mate.
I haven't composed anything. But they keep rehiring.
Just tell me if I'm being a dickhead. Just tell me.
Like, we're gonna sit down. We're just gonna play it through. If there's any questions, I've done my best to make sure that you guys have a good time. And if you do a good time, like I feel like you just because I was explaining this to you last night. Like there's a couple of thoughts at school about like how many takes you should do.
Right.
And in certain countries there'll be like 1, 2, 3, or 4 takes, and you do a run through, and then they'll be like, okay, we're done.
Right.
And then there's other times where there's other types of composers where you'll basically like do like multiple takes, even like what would be considered potentially unnecessary takes, just to get a different kind of like permutation in a certain phrase.
Right.
Like that, so you can cut together and kind of do like kind of different things.
Yeah.
So I'm in that second part.
I was going to say.
I'm in the second part, which is really not economical, but at the same time, there have been like there's been countless times where I've been able to basically like create a really cool sort of almost like a combination or like an amalgamation.
Amalgamation.
Of like different takes. Where like I was like, like bar 34, beat 4. The cello like kind of slipped a little bit on that one note, and it sounds a little fucked up. But let's cut that in. I like the fucked upness. And then go back to like this other take, which is a bit more clean, something like that, and then let's bring in this sort of thing.
The more you're telling me about it, the more stressed out I'm getting. Like, what if because if you have, like you said, you had 3 of each instrument earlier. What if like one guy's just sick, doesn't turn up, or like
that's not a thing.
Not a thing?
It shouldn't be.
what if like someone's they got to fly over, the visa gets delayed or something, and it's like, oh crap, we need to find another guy. Like this sounds like I'm getting stressed out. They're messing all these moving parts.
If it makes you feel better, they're already there.
Okay.
Yeah, they're already there. These guys do that day in and night. And put it this way, if there was someone that was unable to come in because they were sick or whatever, the next person's just
okay.
Right.
Just wondering about how this whole process.
No. I mean, okay. So in that case, you're hiring maybe not just a room, but there'll be what's called a fixer, an orchestral fixer,
who will help get it.
Who is like they organize everything because you don't know everything. You really don't.
Right.
So you're coming into a situation where you're hiring a service. You're hiring the studio, and you're hiring. Normally, more times than none, I've seen that the studio and the musician hiring service are one and the same.
Right,
or
right,
they come hand in hand. So that if you're hiring a studio, have you got musicians? No. Okay, use the person that fixes all our
Right.
That makes sense.
And then they'll say, okay, well, we need X amount of yay, and we need X amount of woodwind this and brass that. And then let's say someone doesn't rock up, and it's a phone call, and I've seen it happen. Like it's like, something didn't happen. Can you come in? Yep, great. See you in 10 minutes.
Wow.
Wow.
And you just kind of you can tailor the session. Unless there's a request for them to use their own conductor, I always get up my own stuff. That way you can have a lot more unpredictable. Right. I'm sure we all.
I figured that.
Of course. Appreciate being very, very anal about control.
Yeah.
But just like let's say for example, like you miss a cello. I'm just using an example. Let's say the cello, cellist falls down and
explodes.
Let's go. About that is less.
You're about to say some real shit.
I
could feel something deep that was coming out there.
I was like, let's not go there. Sorry, Mike. So let's say like cellist is suddenly explodes. Just like Thanos snaps out.
That was a very good snap. That was a firm snap.
Do you know why? Conducting is you to go 1, 2, 3, 4. Like
then why were you shocked by your own snap? Because if this is
like, oh my god, I can conduct.
I have the power.
Entire episode is going to invest tangent.
Honestly.
Whoppers.
Okay, so the cellist explodes.
Conductor exploding.
Let's say, okay, let's quickly switch over to like a different. Let's switch over to like just the violin and viola only track for like 10 minutes. Okay, let's record that. Great. Finish that. Welcome back, cellist. Let's go back to that.
Okay, that makes sense.
Right.
Just have to keep like working through it.
Yeah.
You work in tandem with what's called a session producer, which is basically someone in the booth. If it's not you, like the composer can produce their own session if they are hiring a conductor to conduct. But if you decided to conduct yourself, you work in tandem with the producer or maybe 2 producers in the booth saying, yep, we've got that take. No, don't be a psychopath about that. Move on, please. Something. It's
Right.
You can get in your own head, especially if you conduct someone in your head.
Exactly.
Okay, well, actually, I remember you saying, like, have you got it? Have you got it? Like, in a video when you were talking about how you have to, I think you were on scene, like a voice or something like that, and you were talking about how you're doing takes and interviews and stuff, and then you're like, have you got it? Go again. You have like that sort of, what would be the word, nervousness about, okay, do we actually have the content? Or do we not have the content, do we need to go again? And that,
Right.
But when it's important.
But if you're filming it and you're also in the shot, then you've got to go back and have that in mind. But having someone behind the camera, or in this case in the recording booth, saying no, we've got it, it's chill, let's move on. That kind of moves through.
It's like nice reinforcement.
At the end of the day, it's like, I guess they should, but like the cameraman, he's like getting the shot, but he doesn't necessarily give a shit if it doesn't look great. Sometimes it depends. Like,
also,
I would avoid that. I would recommend.
And it's also sometimes they don't know what kind of shot that you want. You know, as like normally there's with a director,
they don't have as much investment as like say someone you hire to be invested.
Well, well, I mean, if you're hiring a session producer, they should
So you're hiring someone who's like his job is to be as invested as you. Right.
Yeah.
But obviously not everyone will be.
Because otherwise he's just a guy at the booth.
Right.
No, I do see where you're coming from now. So there are times when someone is just saying, okay, have we got the standard?
They'll be like,
take?
we got it.
We got it.
Right.
And then,
You go back and you're like, you didn't have it.
No, but then that would be hopefully where you could, that would maybe where experience gets in and you say, no, we're going to go again. At the end of the day, you kind of drive the train. Like, people are really supporting you. People are there doing their job, but between you and maybe like the music supervisor, you guys are driving the train.
Yeah.
And you've got to be like on it. And then this is where it's not just a physical job, it's also super mental.
Yeah.
Because you've got to focus on not only, if you're especially conducting, you've got the physicality of making sure, okay, cue that person in, keep on going like that.
Yeah.
You come in, be free, blah, 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 blah. So you're cueing people, even though you can do it. But, through the physical act of conducting, it's not just about keeping tempo, which, to be fair, everyone's got a trick in their ear. It doesn't really matter too much. But what it's about is coaching more performance out of it.
Yeah.
More.
like you're basically just like micromanaging everyone, right?
Yeah. Hopefully in like in a positive way. But
Right.
exactly.
Yeah.
But it's like, for example, if I'm going like this, I'm like, okay, sing, and then okay, on that last one, then it's like sing more.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, sing. Yeah.
Do it again.
Sounds a bit constipated, but at the same time, it's like, okay, that should hopefully coax a little bit more. You know, you might push a little harder. Or something like that.
Yeah.
So if you're doing that at the same time, you're also listening to everyone else in your headphones. Or in
Yeah,
the room, making sure that everyone else is playing at the same
God.
time.
Yeah.
So you're doing that over and over again for 9 hours a day.
Yeah.
So like you take everything you just described, how many more layers of difficulty has been added on with COVID?
I was going to ask this.
And having to do things remotely, because that sounds like a nightmare in person.
Yeah. Yeah. There's a reason that if you see like in the room, it's like a sweat mess because it is like super intensive.
Right.
In the COVID times. It's been interesting because depending on where you are, it's actually a little more convenient in terms of time difference because obviously Australia's like so far in front of us. So, if you're recording in America, it's quite nice because you know sort of like an early morning thing. Might become a bit of an early riser during COVID.
Yeah.
At least for time. It's very not an early riser. But in Europe, it's kind of interesting. We did a lot of recording in Prague, some Budapest
During the pandemic.
And for an upcoming project, we did a little recording in America as well.
Right.
But normally for Europe, it's normally like an Australian nighttime sort of recording. So you kind of sit down at like 7, 8 o'clock at night and then do 6, 7 hours. So you kind of finish like 2, 3 o'clock in the morning.
So you're on call with people who are just in a big hall?
Yeah, so basically just stream the audio on audio movies and so. Yeah, it's actually, to be honest, like,
really?
But what if it like lags halfway through like a recording, right?
Because like fucking classic Australian internet just crashes.
I was about to say, I'm like, it must be shit.
Yeah, it's like because
It's like, oh, Kevin's connecting.
Yeah. So
it's like, why is our conductor in like 480p? Like, I can barely see him.
No,
Like,
at that point, you're not. That was what was really nice about like going back to Sydney for a couple of projects. Sorry, going to Sydney for a couple of projects. Because like Melbourne City's an hour and a half on the plane and stuff, and that's pretty cool. But to finally get back to conducting for Star Wars, that was the first time I'd done it. I forgot because the muscles just go away
To conduct.
because like try doing this for like 9 hours.
Right.
Yeah. It's very just the right
Just
arm.
your right arm.
you're like Quagmire. Like,
It's like, what's up with your arm? I'm a conductor. I swear I'm a conductor.
We were talking about carpal tunnel and jump king before, but it's like that, but for your entire arm. Like that.
It's fine, gone. He's left-handed, so they
it balances out.
Oh my god.
Kevin just post pandemic. It's just arms are huge and nothing
Perfectly
else.
balanced. As all things should be. Nah, it's like I forgot how like physically intensive it was. So I was just sat there like because what you're normally meant to do is like maybe be a little reserved in like moving your arms and stuff.
You can't help
But like you're getting into it. And all of a sudden you're moving your entire body, doing like Zumba for like quite a few hours.
Jesus.
Sounds really intense. Yeah. So like speaking of, sorry.
No, I have nothing about it.
Fizz literally talked for an hour and a half, and it's like, that was all just bands, bro. Like,
Literally just talking out of my ass. That was real.
Literally talking literally talking to like an anime composed for some of the biggest shows in like the past few years. I literally have nothing of value to say.
Yes.
So Star Wars.
Yes.
How was that? Like
Really cool.
how did how was it when like the news came in to be like, can you compose a piece of like music for Star Wars media? Because I'm assuming like
Great honor. Like, obviously it has the history of history. And just to be able to kind of obviously, so Star Wars Visions is an animated series for, based on the universe of Star Wars. One of those episodes. did the episode 4 called Village Bride.
Right.
And what I really liked about it is that Star Wars Visions, our episode, explored like some really cool like spiritual and biblical stuff.
I was waiting for that word. I was like, where is it? Where is it?
I got you. Go back.
You wanted to.
No, it explores some really nice concepts with the Force, which was just, I mean, I grew up watching that.
Yeah.
Watched the original trilogy with my dad, and then my dad and I watched the prequels, and then I did watch the prequels as well, of course. But yeah, it was really nice to sort of have like one hand in like sort of that aesthetic world at the same time we're exploring certain like spiritual aspects, especially considering like the backdrop is very sort of Yoda-esque.
Yeah.
So like to have like the ability to use traditional Japanese instruments. We use Sho, we use Koto, we use shakuhachi, and we did Shinobue as well.
Right.
And so we recorded those in Tokyo, recorded orchestra in Sydney, put them all together. But especially the Sho is a
Which one is that?
Sho is the mouth organ. It's a I mean, I'm very, very oversimplifying to say that it's
I've never heard of this.
I know. When and then when Kevin said it's a mouth organ, I was this close to being like, no, it's not.
So if you blow into a giant amount,
Giant amount. A large amount.
A large amount of bamboo pipes. And it
You've
creates-
definitely seen it before.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It's part of temple culture.
Maybe I've seen it.
Right.
I mean, you would have heard it. You would have absolutely heard it.
Yeah.
But it's like 12 to 14 sort of individual little pipes. You
Right.
blow into it. You can blow in and like blow in and out.
Right.
To create sort of a very, very
This thing.
Oh, I've seen that. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I have seen that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's a very complex, very beautiful sort of cluster of notes that create a very, very dense, very specific chord. And all these chords have very, very, very specific meaning. So first off, obviously, as an Australian, you really want to be very careful about that. And, there's been, there's always a bit of an attitude in Australia when it comes to using Australia's indigenous instruments, which is you don't want to fuck. You don't want to be that person that has really disrespected a very, very important and very sacred instrument.
Yep.
And so that mentality I've carried, I've been lucky enough to use sort of Australian instruments in the past, and it's always been in very explicit collaboration with First Nation people using those instruments, because I'm not going to use that instrument on my own. I feel like I have to. I can't do it. And so, even though I am Australian, I want to make sure that when it comes to Japan's instruments, it's the exact same approach.
Yeah.
Very, very calculated in a good way. Like sort of, talk to the musician, saying what is okay, what isn't okay, what are you happy with, what you're not happy with, what is natural, what is unnatural, those sort of things. What do you have? Thankfully, like the musician, especially the show player, is phenomenal and was very, very, very open to just sort of discussing what does and doesn't work. These are chords, like these are sort of like the core chords, so to speak, that you can't that come on like the. Yeah, it has like different systems. It's very, very interesting. So it basically you have like different combinations of notes that they have like a different conjugate. It works actually on a circle. It works on that. Not a
Like a circle of fifths type of thing? Or?
Yeah, but not fifths, circle of chords. But then all of them have different meanings and stuff like that. I really hope I'm not bastardizing this as well, but like
I wouldn't know.
No. I promise I know.
I know you know.
No, but basically what happens is we did a lot of workshopping and just said, okay, how do we make sure that like is this good? Is this okay?
Right.
Is this not okay?
Right.
How, why, and when, sort of thing.
Yeah.
Is that like, sorry, because you speak my ignorance on this. You're saying like, is that good? As in like, if you were to use it incorrectly, it would be disrespectful?
Well, it might not, like, I don't know, but the problem is I don't know.
Right.
Yeah, and I'd rather, like...
You don't want to overstep the boundary just in case.
Yeah, I'd rather ask too many questions and just, like, or to be said, no, don't worry about it, it's great.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it. But that's not my permission yet.
Yeah.
So once I receive it, then I feel, okay, now we can record, now we can actually, work with these instruments. And obviously, like, being commissioned to do something which is anime, obviously Star Wars as well, but, like, doing something that is anime, and in this case has a very specific relationship to Japan and its instruments. That's super important to make sure that I get that right. I don't want to.
Yeah, of course.
Really
Yeah. Is there ever like a difficulty when you're working on a property that has had so much history and previous works that you could kind of get lost in inspiration with?
I mean, it's not an easy one.
Right. So Star Wars has a lot of music, right?
Exactly. Has a lot of the best music as well.
Because I guess you're just like naturally going to be compared to the likes of like John Williams, right? So it's like, I mean, but you don't want to sound too much like that, right?
It's like you have listened. There's no way you have not listened. Unlisten what you have listened. But like, I mean, thankfully because it's anime, it actually because it's not live action, we almost in a way had a little bit more freedom. Because we were trying something new, and that was one of the ethos. That was the ethos of the show. Or at least that was one of the sort of the core sort of concepts of the show was to obviously be in the universe, but then to explore it in this in a medium that I've been not only lucky enough to be part of, but I really do genuinely love. It's important.
Yeah, because like I remember like watching that episode, and I was like, of course, I got to support my boy Kevin. Of course, I'm going to watch Star Wars Visions, and I remember like going to this episode, and I was just like, this is like definitely Star Wars, but this is like such a Kevin Star Wars. And like I don't know, like I'm not like well versed enough in like musical lingo to be able to like break down what makes it a Kevin Star Wars. It just felt like a Kevin Star Wars, a Kevin take on the Star Wars, universe, and just the iconic music as well.
Is that something you do unconsciously? Like you have a kind of a signature almost to your music?
Good question. I'm not actually even sure. Like
I think regardless of whether you like aim to do it or not, I think you've achieved it.
Do you think that when you listen to your music that way, or they have heard your previous works, they can identify another one of your work?
Yeah, because actually I didn't even know that you did the music for that episode, but as soon as like the episode started playing, I'm like, this is Kevin. I already know. I know my boy.
I may gravitate towards certain classic courses, put it that way. I don't know, I wouldn't know how to put my finger on it. I wouldn't know how to do that, but I think in a way, like it's both a very endearing thing to hear, and at the same time, I'm like, okay, how can I not do that?
Yeah, how can I not do that?
Surprise me. How can I do that? How can I do that next time? So it's almost like because it's a great thing to hear, and I am happy to hear it. At the same time, I'm like, okay, I do eventually want to. Like, it sounds a bit fucking wanky, but like I want to evolve.
Of course.
And I kind of no, that's too far.
I mean, you get a little bit too biblical there.
Plays the Russian synth.
Well, I mean, one
you have to evolve in every
of course,
you got to be on top.
I mean, because as we were mentioning before, I just turned 30, and so I've started putting together like a list of what do I want to do in like the next 10 years, and what I want to do between 30 and 40. And one of them is like just to like I want to learn to sing again. Like I used to sing, and I used to not be totally shit at it, and now I sound like pretty sure like if like
bit out of practice.
Yeah, let's just say if like the cat was angry and screeched, it would still sound better than what my voice would sound like in my attempt.
You're being dramatic.
Yeah, you'll be fine.
Like knowing you, Kevin, you're probably a lot better than what you think.
I think that's just your musician side saying that.
But so like I want to sing again. I want to like.
Well, we got to go to karaoke to find out, don't we?
Keep going. No, I like singing, and I want to like kind of try a few different musical ideas. It would be really nice to do like a personal album for the first time. Like I've never really released like a personal album, like personal music.
Right.
So it's been in like for the last, as far as I can remember, like in terms of my professional life, it's always been to a project, which is fucking awesome. But at the same time, I feel like, you know what, in the next 10 years, it'll be good to like really create something like
that's just you.
Really
Yeah.
me. I gotta figure out what that is as well, because like I don't know what I am. So.
Well, welcome to being in your 30s, motherfucker.
Okay. Good luck. Good luck.
Shit.
I got
sweating.
I got a little while.
Yeah, but no, I'm.
No, like that's like that. You know, that's really respectable though. Like I think as you know, because all of us right now are in kind of the creative field, regardless of if it's different types of creative fields. Like I think we can all, you know, kind of, you know, empathize with that like feeling, right? Of being like, yeah, you know, you want to get yourself out there and try and spread your wings out as much as possible creatively, right?
I mean, look how much you've grown as well. Like, look at your channel and look at your content. Done it all free. Fuck's sake. I mean, like, look at this podcast. I mean, last time we caught up, it didn't exist, and now it is this. Your personal channels as well. We watch them all the time. We watch the old content, we watch the new stuff. It's. I mean, all of it's great, but it is so lovely to see how it has changed and evolved.
Yeah, likewise, man. Likewise.
Thank you.
Likewise with your stuff.
Yeah. I'm so sorry.
Gentlemen, all men strive for gold in their life, right? Gold medals, gold watches, gold everything. However, there is a certain type of man that goes the extra mile in life. He walks. Back to the episode.
So I guess while we wrap this up, I gotta ask, like, what do you want to explore next? Because you always say you want to do something new. What's like something that you haven't done yet that you want to do?
Like musically speaking?
Yeah, like musically speaking.
Or just I was gonna meme for
Have a good Burger King burger.
Yeah.
We don't talk about the impossible here. Go to the source. Well, yeah, I mentioned like the personal album thing. I think what I want to do is expand, which is the best way to describe it, I think.
Right.
I don't mean this in any sort of like shitty braggadocious sort of way. I am very happy with what I've been able to achieve so far. I turned 30, like these wonderful projects, I met wonderful people. I'm part of a wonderful sort of industry and community. I've got friends and family and all the sorts. Like I'm good. I'm a happy boy. I think balance, if anything, is what I want to achieve next. I feel like next is like it's been like the pandemic can go suck a massive fat bag of donkey dicks. Like it fucking sucked. Like but it put a lot of things.
Bold statements.
But it did put a lot of things in perspective because you could work hard and that's fine for a while. Eventually, not only does your body tell you you got to take better care of yourself. Again, like I was mentioning, I think maybe off camera, but put on a fucking load of weight, drank too much, ate too much in the pandemic, and it was just a way to deal. And fine, we all kind of get it. It's not healthy.
Yeah, you weren't the only one.
I don't feel like I'm I'm not breaking any fucking.
So you did what?
I think the statement's gonna come as a massive shock. That I was fucking down during the pandemic.
Right.
I'm very not unique to that. I was not that happy all the time. I think the one thing that coming into quote unquote endemic, which
Endemic.
Depending
Is that
on-
what everyone's calling this?
Is that a thing now?
Is this an Aussie thing?
No, it's called optimism. Optimism.
Optimism.
Fuck. Optimism. So yeah, I'm optimistically calling it endemic-y, and I'm calling it that because I'm sat here now. I'm on the show.
That's not an Aussie thing, by the way. That's a Kevin thing.
It's like let it be so.
Yeah.
But I'm really keen to just kind of get life back and just feel fucking as normal as best as possible. I want the day to day to be really productive at the same time. I live in Melbourne now. I moved back to Melbourne because I really wanted to be closer to community and family. And I miss Australia so much when I was living here, and that's why I moved back. Melbourne's like a beautiful city to be in. Even though we had all these crazy lockdowns and stuff, I'm really happy there. It's a beautiful space. But it is nice to just fuck off and go to Japan and go to America and go to London, or come to London, I should say. And that almost is it's such a pleasure to be here right now because it is a bit of a recharge. And people still can't. There are some countries that still can't do that. And so you got to really take it. You got to really think that that's right now pretty lucky in the context of the fact that we are going through a fucking pandemic still. So balance is what I want to achieve between lifestyle, friends, professionality, work ethic, work quality as well. I don't know how it'd be nice to potentially go back to school. like not like school, but like I've tried learning Korean a little bit and still trying that. And still, I had to kind of pick my battles in terms of trying to like learn more stuff.
Right.
Yeah. I like the idea of just trying to expand a little bit, and try different things. Try a little bit of streaming in like mid 2020 or like late 2020, a little bit of early 2021. I kind of like put it on the back burner because I just got really busy with projects and stuff. I do miss that. I miss the streaming. It's good fun. Just like live composing or like playing old games. Like I want to play Metroid Prime if it comes out.
Hell yeah.
Played Eco on stream. That was really fun. I want to play Shadow of the Colossus and all that sort of thing. Like that's a fun thing to experience.
All games that have amazing music.
Surprise. This is why I like them. I mean, just like playing games that like are really important to me on stream, or like composing music in front of a live audience that it almost like activates a different part of the brain. I guess you can relate it to like content creation offline and online. Right. Live, I should say. Yeah. Expansion and balance, I think, is what we want to do.
Expansion. Like such a I'm British. That word.
I will de-expand.
I mean, like we've wanted to have you on since basically like the beginning of the podcast. Like 2 years.
We were like, who would be the most perfect guest for a show like this? The mate Kevin.
Our mate Kevin.
I like some bad takes. I can commit.
And we've had like
bone-in chicken.
Oh, fucking boneless, man. Come on.
Yes.
Come on. Yes.
Let's go.
Yeah, dude, I'm sorry.
It's my boy.
You have Korean fried chicken. You want bone chicken or do you want like a fucking
I'm
beautiful?
This is like, you know what? It's been a fantastic episode. We'll bond together now. We'll bond together.
Look, I appreciate that you've come to terms a little bit better on bread. I do respect that you are getting better.
Just as a person.
I'm just saying that what do you want to achieve in your 30s and why is it boneless?
I want to expand.
The expansion.
World domination.
30s expansion. What can I say, man? But I mean, it's we've like had to, I guess, like fucking move mountains to get you on because we're not filming in Australia, we're not filming in Japan, we're filming in fucking the UK. Which neither of us even live in, and
it's a weird detour.
Definitely.
It's a weird detour, but it's nice that we are able to make this happen. Finally.
Absolutely. Like hopefully, like when Japan decides not to.
Mate. Please come back because we've gone 2 hours and somehow we've not talked about Oolong High, Oolong Dai. We're not going to, by the way.
That's the next time.
That's the next time.
This is the sober conversation. This is like the pre-convo.
Next time you come on, we have to.
Second episode is going to be Oolong High.
Well, that's the thing. It's like this is almost like this is season 1. This is the conversation we should have had in the old studio. Now I've got to come to the new studio.
And
just get fucking hammered.
We've done 1 call. Now we're doing 2
Honestly.
We're going to do 1.5% more alcohol.
Hell yeah. But I guess we'll leave it there for the time being. Obviously we're gonna get you back eventually in Japan, hopefully with a little bit more booze and a little bit more bands. But but hey, in the meantime,
we're trying not to talk about fucking synthesizers for like 3 hours.
Oh man,
we've only talked about
which ones I get between now and then.
We'll hear your top 10 synthesizers list pretty soon.
I've got a list. I've got a fucking list, man. Actually, do you not know?
Tell me on camera.
I was going to tell you over dinner.
But hey, look at all these patrons, though. These amazing, lovely patrons. Look at them, Kev. Look at them. They're just floating by. Oh my god, so many of them. Who's your favorite?
That one.
Oh, that. I was like, god damn it. But hey, if you'd like to support the show, then go over to our Patreon, patreon.com/trashtaste. Also follow us on Twitter, send us memes on the subreddit, and if you hate our face, listen to us on Spotify. And hey, go check out Kev stuff. Wait, is there anything you want to shout out, by the way?
I do the Twitters, and obviously like Made in Abyss is coming up in July.
Which I'm so fucking pumped.
Oh yeah, we didn't talk about Made in Abyss too.
Maybe next time.
Maybe next time.
No, it'll be out by hopefully like next time we like hang out, so we can finally talk about it in depth.
I've got a couple of things going, but most of them, it's like think of it as like there's like a little pinpoint in your head with a sniper rifle, and you're just like, oh, I'm gonna talk about.
It just doesn't happen.
I'm ready to be depressed. That's
Hey, welcome to the club, buddy. Hello,
Yeah.
my old friend.
Well, yeah, thanks for coming on, Kev.
My pleasure. Thank you to all. And on a final note, I just want to say thank you to all three of you personally. And no, it's been nice.
Man, what a
The
legend.
lad.
What a legend.
The lad.
What a fucking lad.
That's why he's our boy.
What a nice boy.
Love you all. Thank you.
That's our man's right there.
It's the most wholesome ending to trash this episode ever.
Thank you for doing what you do.
Yeah, of course. Likewise,
Sorry,
man.
I
You're right. You're gonna cry? You're gonna cry?
Thank you for helping both of us through this. It's been a really bad pandemic.
Yeah.
It's nice.
Oh.
Sorry, I don't know. Come here, sorry. I thought like maybe if I got like fucking drunk, I didn't expect it to be like sober, but seriously, thank you for doing what you do. It really helps.
Yeah.
It's really nice every Saturday to like wake up and watch the trash days. It's lovely to see your content.
We will try.
So
Make me tear
thank you for doing what you do. 'Cause it does
Mate,
Yeah, man.
lots of love.
Likewise, man.
Lots of love.
Lots of love. Likewise,
Made
man.
for life, man. Made for life.
Yeah, honestly.
I'm just happy that we're gonna hang out again, man. So,
Nice. It's gonna be
I'm
good.
so fucking happy, man.
Fuck, can I please have a drink?
That's the end. All right, bye.
Wasn't enough. I'm like